We're actually not going to do the slides right now, though. We're going to do these slides when we go live with the rest of the world. So I get to just talk to you guys, just us, for almost an hour right now. So Immune is a chewable vitamin that's like a taffy that's able to boost the immune system. And again, I'm not allowed to go into all the details behind it until we are live, but I will say this, it tastes amazing, and it's very good for the immune system as far as supporting the overall cells of your body and the immune system. We put it in a certain formula because we really wanted it to be something that children love to eat, as well as adults. We wanted to be able to give it to a 2-year-old and they would ask their mother every day, can I have another one? So because I have children, and because you all have children, or you have nieces and nephews, or you are a child, you know how important it is to get children to make their bodies healthy. We tried to make a formula, again, that every child would want, no matter how old they are. So that's what we're going to be talking about live. The second thing we're going to be talking about live is the Seed Science Organization that will be able to give you all research articles and science and data and clinical information in your country's language. I cannot show the slides yet or go into all the details, but during this next 45 minutes, I want to talk to you all about science, clinical medicine research. There is not another country that asks me more questions about clinical research and data than your country. Not one other country. I think it is because, I don't know the actual reason, but I think it is because you as a people and as a culture have taken it upon yourselves to make your country even better. Some people are born into a family or into a country where everything's kind of easy, right? Some people are born into a family where it's not so easy, or a country where it's not as easy. I'm not sure what the answer is why that happens. I don't know. When I was a child and I used to pray, I used to ask God that question. Why does this happen and why does this not happen? Why do some people have so much and some people have nothing? To me, it did not seem fair, and to this day, to me, it does not seem fair. However, the older I became and the more children I had, this was something that I saw within my own children. I had one child that was a twin, and he lost the other twin while I was pregnant. I was pregnant when I was 24 years old, and most of you guys know this. I lost one of the children during the pregnancy to cancer, and the other child made it. He had about a 1% chance of making it, but he made it. The doctors tried to convince me to have an abortion, and I almost did. I went a couple of times, and I just did not do it. They wanted me to have an abortion medically because the cancer was metastasizing and spreading to my brain and my spine and throughout my body. And so, as I carried that pregnancy, I lost a child. The other child fought for his life, and because he was a fighter, under adverse and bad circumstances, when he did not have anything going for him, he made it. I fought for that child, he fought for his own life, and today he is 22 years old, and he plays a sport for a university in the United States, and he's very healthy. Through his path growing up, he was diagnosed at one point with autism. At another point, they diagnosed my son with bipolar disorder. At another point, they told us he had a learning disability and that we needed to hold him back and put him in a special school. That child ended up graduating at the top of his class in high school, and he ended up being one of the strongest leaders I've ever seen, and he has a very, very good life. I have another child that the minute he was born, everything came easy to him. At that point in our lives, we had a lot of money, whereas when our older two were born, we didn't have a lot of money. When my younger two were born, we had worked very, very hard, and we had some money. So the younger two children were born to a family where they saw everything basically given to them. And again, one of my children, his name's Crider, he had so much given to him. He's an amazing athlete with everything he does. He's 13 years old and he's 6'1". Jeremy, stand up for a second. My 13-year-old is about this much taller than Jeremy. And the reason I'm telling you this is every sport, everything that child does in our country, people want him to play. He makes straight A's. He's got a lot of friends. He has as much money as he wants. But I had this other child, right, that was not born under that circumstances, and they fought really hard. Duquesne fought really hard for his life. Crider is like the United States. A child that had everything, that has everything. Duquesne is more like the Ukraine. Do you know which child I worry about the most? Not the child that fought for everything and has made it through everything. I don't worry about my oldest child, Duquesne. I know he's a fighter, he's a winner, he's not going to quit. The child I worry about out of all four of my children is my third son, who's amazing, but everything was given to him. It was pretty easy. The reason I'm telling you this is that's what the Ukraine reminds me of. You all were born into a country and into a culture where you had to work for everything you have. In my opinion, nothing was ever just given to you. In my country, we're born into a situation where it's easier for us to have things. Things are given to us. Things are naturally easier. That does not make us better. In fact, you guys are fighters. You work for things. You've made it through things. And the reason I know for a fact that the Ukraine is going to be one of, if not the most successful countries, is because you know how to fight for things, you know how to work for things, you know how not to quit, and you're going to make it. When it comes to science and clinical and medicine, I've always said this: anyone can be good at medicine, clinical, and science if they know how to work and they don't quit. Science, medicine, and healthcare are all things that if you want to be better and better and better and know more and more and more, you have to learn. You can't stop asking questions. You can't expect for it always to be given to you. I think the reason Ukraine asked for the clinical, the medical, the scientific information is because you all somehow know that. You know that it is your responsibility to learn as much as you can about your bodies and your lives so you can help your lives and your children and your families. I think that's why when I sit and talk to your leaders and the diamonds, they teach me things. They read things that I've never read. I make a comment about the body and the cells in the body, and Marina can answer that comment or add to that with something she knows, and she's right. How does she know something that I may not know? How do you all know something that you teach me when you reach out to me? Because you're learning, you're educating, you're researching. You are not just depending on one person to tell you, but you are taking the responsibility to fight for what you want and what you need, and for your country and for others in their country. There were some natural disasters that happened around the Ukraine. Nuclear toxins were exposed in this environment more than a lot of environments in the world. Because of that, and the toxins that enter your body, you guys need to be educated as much as anyone in the world on how to get rid of those toxins and how to be healthy. The answer to that is not by taking tons of pills or tons of surgeries. The answer to that is providing your body with the right nutrients and wellness, and educating your minds with all the information so that you understand what you need to do, and so that you can be experts that help everyone else throughout the Ukraine. The Seed Science Organization is an organization that I increasingly became dedicated to because of things like this. I wanted to be able, with the right leadership and the right teams and the right people, I wanted to work as a group to be able to find all the information on a given topic, such as, if my child has a brain tumor, what can I give them that will help fight that brain tumor and make them healthy? I can go to a doctor and they're going to give me their opinion. You guys can come to me and I'll give you my opinion. I don't have all the answers, and there's not a doctor in the world that does. The reason I know that is I stayed in school throughout my whole life. When I got the brain tumor and the spinal tumor, and I lost a child, I dedicated my life to staying in school, and I've done that. I still take classes in the medical department and in the bioscience engineering department, postdoctoral at Harvard. Why do I do that? I do that so I can fight, I can work, and I can be a winner and help others. I do not expect for anything to just be given to me. I feel like this country is the same way. When I roll out the Seed Science Organization, there was a reason I wanted to be in the Ukraine to do that. This is a country, when you have a topic like a brain tumor, I want you to have the answers, and not just from scientists in the Ukraine, but from scientists throughout the world. I want you to have every article I have, not just from Harvard, because you will see that there too, not just on new technology, which I will present there too. I'm a nanobiotechnologist. That means I study how to make cells and how to make different formulas which will alter the cells in your body, change things on a quantum physics level. That information will be on there. You will be able to ask the experts. You will be able to communicate. That information will be on there and translated into Ukraine. Additionally, information that is well documented on clinical research per a seed or per a nutritional supplement, even per a pharmaceutical product will be listed on there. New information will be listed every week. Committees are going to be added in each country. We've worked on it for a year, and this information will need to get out there to the public and to grow as quickly as possible. There are some doctors and hospitals and professionals that probably won't use RAIN's products because they don't have the clinical research information. However, most professionals will join a society they're invited to join. When you guys join as members, or as a committee advisor, or as a professional, because we want the RAIN members to join. You will invite doctors and healthcare professionals to join under the healthcare membership. At first, we were only opening this to scientists, doctors, and healthcare professionals. We changed that. We decided that we needed business professionals to help us grow and to help educate. So we all will have the opportunity to do this together. I have you guys sometimes ask me, Christina, Dr. Cook, tell me what happens when you take Soul twice a day. Or I have people ask me, if I have breast cancer, how many times a day should I take Soul and core? We don't have all the scientific information behind that. We have the science from the lab that shows us how often you should take it. We have the data from clinical research in the past that shows us that black cumin seed should be taken every 5 to 6 hours if you want black cumin seed to attack a tumor or kill a cancer cell. We do not have the data research on Soul and core as a product by itself in a mass quantities of people. We started gathering that information last year, and we are continuing to gather it, and we will release that through the society, and we will release that per a diagnosis. If you ask me when will we have this information, the answer to that is as soon as all of it is entered into the database from the doctors that have used it, you will have the information. When you have that information, if a doctor or a healthcare provider asks you if that information went through a FDA or IRB, here's the answer. The research projects that I'm involved in always go through the FDA and the IRB. If my name is on a publication or a research project, it went before the FDA and the IRB. But Soul and core are not going to be able to make the claim they cure cancer. They can't make that claim. There's not a product out there that can make that claim, even a pharmaceutical product. There's not a pharmaceutical product that can say, you're going to cure breast cancer. If you really want to know what those pharmaceutical products say, they tell the doctor in the package insert what % of efficacy they can probably expect with that product. How many times it'll work. And I think I told you guys yesterday, they need to hit an efficacy rate of about 40% in order for our country to accept that product. The same applies to the Ukraine. Most government healthcare systems want it to show that that drug will work 40% of the time. However, in some cases, there are drugs and products that are approved that only work 20% of the time. If I just stand up here and do nothing, I have a better chance of something than working 20% of the time. Yet, there are doctors and hospitals that prescribe chemotherapy and radiation that can cost up to $800,000 per year per patient that may or may not work. You guys have products that you're able to bring to people that we know the ingredients in those products and how they were made are extremely effective at treating multiple disease states and autoimmune disorders. The reason sometimes you fight healthcare professionals is most healthcare professionals that go to a traditional school do not study black cumin seed, for example, in college. In fact, what most people don't know is if you're in a medical school department, unless you're in the medical school department to make drugs like me, you're going to medical school to study the human body and not the drugs. I'm a scientist that went to school to study how to make drugs. Most people in a medical school department go to school to learn. When you walk in my office, what is your diagnosis? Then they match it up against a drug or a product that someone's taught them about, or a pharmaceutical rep has come in to discuss with them, and they give them the medicine. People ask me what my education is. I had a lot of people ask me yesterday. I've stayed in school for a long time. I've been in the medical departments at multiple universities and the PhD departments. But my schooling and my studying is around the medication and what happens when you put it in someone's body and how their bodies react. I've only treated patients if they've been in what's called an investigator-sponsored trial. That means I am a scientist that treats people where I get the FDA to approve it, where that drug does not have an indication. It's not approved. That means if you don't have that approval, you're in trouble. So most of the drugs I've worked with, I've been able to look at diseases where that drug or that product was not approved, but I got an FDA approval to be able to treat the patients and to see how they do on the product. I can tell you, in my travels with RAIN, when I come out here and hear these case studies, and you guys send me these case studies, and I see how people are doing on this product, in my entire career, I have never seen so many results from any other product that I've worked with. And the problem with most of the products I've worked with throughout my career is most of the products that I've worked with have a lot of side effects. So one of the things with the society that we are wanting to show you all is not just the good things about the products you have, but any negative. Because I want you guys to be able to ask a search engine, or if the search engine won't show you, you can ask me or the board of directors of the society. If I have an allergic reaction to black cumin seed, what should I do? What do I expect? What do you recommend? As the clinical science officer at RAIN, I can't answer those questions because it's a conflict. As the chairman of the society, I can answer those questions all day long. As a member of the society, if you serve on a committee, or you run something, or you're involved, you can show doctors the answer. You can show customers the answer. You can go to your tool, and if they don't believe you, search the tool, and it will give you the research articles, the clinical data, the research that shows the answer you're asking. That all won't happen at day one, but I can tell you we're pretty close, and at day one, when you join as a member and are accepted, you will have access to this information, and it will grow daily. Our dream is to provide this search engine and this tool into provider practices, hospitals, so that every doctor has a wellness prevention clinic and uses the right seed-based products, nutritional products. Another dream that we have, because of Jeremy and some of the other partners that I have, is to provide in major corporations wellness platforms so that every employee has access to these products, and the company actually gives them these products. Did you guys know that there are companies like Toyota, like Walmart, I can name a lot of them, that have actually a platform, and what they do is, if their employees will engage in wellness programs healthcare programs, nutrition, they actually will supply them with the product and pay them extra money on top of their check if they follow the wellness regimen. They do that because they believe if they will do that, they will come to work more often, they'll be happier, they will be more productive. No one has tried to do that though, with a product like Soul and Core implemented into that program. Why? Because companies will not pay for that unless you have proof that shows them if I pay for Soul and Core every month for every employee, how much could that possibly save my company? Fortunately, that's one of the things I've done for a living. I love doing that. I love taking a product and being able to prove, yes, this may cost $200 a month per employee, but in the end, they had less days gone from work. If I can prove there were 5 days missed that didn't have to be missed because of Soul and Core, because they're healthier, companies will buy that product. So that's another thing the database is implementing. We're implementing a pathway system which you will be able to show people once all the data is entered. This is what you can anticipate as far as cost savings, even though you're spending this. If you can log in and show someone that yes, maybe they spend $2,000 extra a year on Soul and Core, but they made $10,000 more because everyone came to work, they want the product. That's why Walmart put in a system into Walmart, which had a platform where they're testing everyone for their eyes and they're checking their mouth for dental. They're paying for it. They're asking their employees to do it. Why? They're asking them because they know even with vision and teeth, if their vision's better and their teeth are better, they're happier at work and they miss less days at work. So can you imagine what taking a product like Soul and Core could do for a company, for a hospital, or for a country? And I don't think that's dramatic at all. I don't think that's taking a leap at all. The reason your country wants children to take vitamin D is because they know if your children take vitamin D, then they're healthier. They know they will grow up to be more productive for this country. So they're willing to pay for certain things if they know that it can help them. Our responsibility is going to be to really make sure that we show the value of products like Soul, Core, Immune, and Pure to a small population like a family or a friend, all the way through to a corporation or a hospital system. A leader, and expect everyone to like you. My father told me, I've said this many times, my father told me if you want to lead and you want to be successful, get ready for people to talk bad about you and to not like you. I don't know what your religious belief is, but whether it's Jesus or Gandhi or Muhammad, all those men have something in common. They're loved by many and they're hated by many. Any president that runs for president has a lot of people telling them they can never do it. You as leaders do not be discouraged. You guys have fought so hard to take products, sell those products to people, to help yourself ourselves economically and from a business perspective. But what I see in the Ukraine, more than that, is I see a passion where you in your heart truly care about people. It's not just about money. You have to have money to help people, and to some extent. Mother Teresa had nothing. She worked hard. So you can get by helping people without money. However, the more money you have, the more you can help more people, right? There's nothing wrong with that. But if you guys didn't have the passion you have in your hearts to help people, I wouldn't love the Ukraine so much. I saw it the first time I was here. I see it this time as well. It is a beautiful, wonderful country. And it's a country that's not scared of work. So I want to encourage this country when all these products are launched and rolled out, even though maybe you didn't get the samples first or the product first, which I apologize for that. I want you to know it's okay. You still can be the leaders in those products. And I have faith in you. I wish I could convince I've asked a few of you all to already help me with launching the society and also getting information out there to some of the employee groups and hospitals. And I'm going to depend on some of the leadership to really help us grow this in this country. I would like opportunity for the remainder of the time to be able to answer any questions you guys have of me, because I won't have another opportunity and I won't be back here until June. So I'm going to open it up to questions. I do want to say one last thing, actually two last things. I apologize that I can't always answer questions, or I really can't answer questions about how much of this product do I take or when do I take it. Legally, I don't have those answers and I can't answer. I can give you my opinion. I can tell you research that's been done around seeds and science, and I can tell you what we saw in the lab or on case reports. But I don't have all the answers, but I can tell you with pharmaceutical products, we don't have all those answers either. So I've never tried to avoid your questions. I've been trying to wait till I had the right platform that I could give you the answers in the right way, so you never get in trouble, and I never get in trouble, and the company doesn't get in trouble. And lastly, I do want to tell you, because I don't have the opportunity, I appreciate your kindness. I'm very thankful for your hugs, your smiles, your comments. It keeps me going because I get tired, and I really appreciate it. It gives me the encouragement to want to make better products, to bring to this country and other countries things that can really help all of us, so that if you can't go to the doctor, or you can't go to the right doctor, or you simply know the answers, you are equipped with everything you need. It matters to me, it always will. That's never going to change. You have support. I'm here. Even if I don't answer every text and email, again, usually it's because I can't. But just know that I'm very, very thankful, and I really appreciate your kindness and your warmth and your hospitality. So thank you. So I'm going to open it up real quick for the remainder of the time. Do we have any more time? How long? 5 minutes. I'm going to allow for 2 or 3 questions if anyone has any questions.
Скажите, пожалуйста, чем отличаются новые продукты, эти пробиотики, пребиотики, да, от того, что продается в обычных аптеках, там, бифидобактерии, лактобактерии, по усвояемости, как-то новый продукт, чем отличается от обычных аптечек?
Мы предлагаем то, что есть.
Yeah. So, in the formula, it has one of the most common bacteria used, one of the strongest and then one of the rarest.
В нашей формуле есть одна из наиболее распространенных бактерий, которые есть во всех пробиотиках. Есть как бы, ну, такая наиболее стандартная и одна наиболее редкая.
And we combine them.
И мы смогли соединить эти три бактерии в одном продукте.
And then we have a proprietary seed science blend, which I was not allowed to show all of that on the slide.
И потом у нас есть формула состава на основе семян нашей собственной разработки, которую вот этот состав мне даже не разрешили показывать на слайде.
But there are other probiotics and prebiotics that I like as well.
Но есть другие пробиотики, пребиотики, которые мне тоже нравятся.
If you send the question into the seed science organization, we can evaluate the competitor.
И потом, опять же, когда у нас будет это сообщество, вы сможете с запросом обратиться, и тогда мы сможем, ну вот, вы, например, спрашиваете, вот Pure по сравнению вот с таким-то там пробиотиком, и мы тогда оцениваем его, тестируем тот, ну, вот тот конкурент, и выдаем свой вердикт.
It's important, regardless, to know about all competitors and other products that are like that. So I will, if you can send that information.
Знаете, это все равно для нас важно, знать, какие у нас есть конкуренты, насколько они эффективны, поэтому, если у вас какая-то информация есть, пожалуйста, скажите, с чем вы можете его сравнить.
Most of the prebiotics and probiotics don't use seed blends, though. Most of the other prebiotics and probiotics don't use seed-based products.
В большинстве пробиотиков и пребиотиков существующих нету в составе этого продукта нету такой ингредиентов на основе семян.
I do want to tell them it's not on the label. They don't have to do this, but I always like to refrigerate prebiotics and probiotics.
Знаете, ну на этикетке продукта этого нет. Но знаете, я всегда предпочитаю хранить такие пробиотические и пребиотические препараты в холодильнике, чтобы вы знали.
У меня тоже.
Мы позиционируем новый УКРЕПЛЕНИЕ как гель с высокой биодоступностью. Почему в капсулах, которые мы говорим, что
I'm walking back so they can put this on me while I'm talking.
No. We'll be going to be live in a minute. Yeah? Yes? 2 minutes.
Can I use, do you want me to use this? Okay, so
we say that sole core, the bioavailability is high, like 98%, 95%. But why do we offer pure in a capsule form?
It was the way it was the easiest to formulate.
Ну, было проще составить формулу, которая была бы в капсулах. Нет, жидкость, ну вот жидкость, да, жидкость. That's gonna be what? In capsule? What's in capsule? Like oil, like liquid, or like...
We took the oil and formulated it so that it would go into a capsule.
Да, то есть мы взяли вот как бы масляную часть жидкую и ее уже в капсулу. А тот, the one pure that in stick is in a sachet is different.
Yes, different.
Тот, который в пакетике pure, он будет другой по консистенции.
Почему у нас в капсулах не будет? Это другой.
Не будет.
У меня один вопрос для Кристины.
One question for
Кристина, есть ли у нас надежда, что ты, может, в июне?
Can we hope that you will be with us together with Jeremy?
Yes, unless they tell me I can't.
Если мы 2000 посадим.
If we will get 3,000 people, will you come?
Yes.
Да.
Продолжим. От генерального директора Владимира Асташова. Кто сейчас в течение 1 часа покупает 10 билетов, еще такая флешка подарок. Я выхожу.
Только что бросили камеру. Мне можно
И те, кто купил уже сегодня 10 билетов на одного флешку. Сейчас видим. Марина, дай билет. Лежит больше общем, этих билетах уже Марина медитировала.
Поблагодарим Кристину, сейчас мы подсоединяемся без перерыва онлайн-ссылкой. Спасибо, Кристина.
Давай, шнур, я втыкну.
Экран выведите, пожалуйста.
Ты убегаешь?
Нет, я стану продуктом.
Да? Ты умничка.
Чтобы потом не стоять в очереди, я просто решаю.
Что скажешь? Да, будь здоров, будь здоров.
Показывают на каком уровне нас оценивают, какие страны?
Нет. Это показывает, какие страны сейчас вообще онлайн. В Малайзии 3 человека.
Дамы и господа, минута готовности.
Поки ще не почали, я вам скажу 2 слова. Ми коли спілкувалися з Кристиною Кук під час обіду. І вона дивиться на наші фотографії Зорянки з Віталіком, 3 дітей, у Віти з Русланом 3 дітей, у нас 5 дітей. І вона каже, можна фотографії ваших сімей мені переслати? А я кажу, ну, звичайно можна. А вона, ну, в неї реально повні очі сліз, вона каже, в мене все в житті є, але коли в мене буде, ну, коли в мене будуть якось, ну, якби мені, ну, в неї не вистачало мотивації, якби, можливо, якоїсь внутрішньої, розумієте, для того, щоб рухатись далі, для того, щоб, ну, не розслабитись, да, не почувати на лаврах. Коли в мене будуть рухатись руки, я буду дивитися на фотографії ваших сімей і рухатись далі.
Rain partners and guests, please take your seats. We will be beginning momentarily.
Где? Записи вообще нет с переводом ни одной. Это я сейчас хотел попробовать. Оно у меня не получится так.
можете посмотреть на нас со стороны и спросить, почему? Вы можете сомневаться в наших мотивах, можете называть нас сумасшедшими, вы можете покачать головой и осуждающе сказать «я тебя не понимаю». Каждый раз, когда вы спросите «почему?», мы ответим «а почему бы и нет?». Почему ты такой? Почему ты отличаешься от других? Почему ты не закончил институт? Почему ты не устраиваешься на нормальную работу? Почему бы тебе не вернуться в реальный мир? Почему ты отличаешься от других? Почему ты не понимаешь? Потому что мы задаемся вопросом, а почему бы и нет? Мы те самые, кто изменяют этот мир. Мы те самые, кто понимает то, что другие не могут понять. Мы – компания, создавшая категорию. Так что просто сидите и наблюдайте за нами. Почему бы и нет?
Thanks, everybody. So did everybody have a good day yesterday? Did you have fun last night? Okay, so we did some 80s. I was wondering, where was Paul Ingerman? We had the 80s rock star here last night. Another time. But no, it was a good time, everybody. Hey, and the thing is, has anybody heard any testimonials yet on our new cure? Yeah, it's been amazing, hasn't it? I mean, already I feel like the testimonials are coming in, and we're seeing great things happen. So, but we already kind of know that's what's going to happen when we come out with a product, because we don't come out with one unless there's been a lot of research and we know exactly kind of what we're going to be getting. So, you know, I'm excited about that launch. I'm excited to get this out to the world and really take one more thing from seeds and enhance the people that we care about's lives and the people that we're trying to benefit by, you know, going to the true source. As you saw in that video, I always kind of feel weird when they throw me up with other people like that, but it really is the category. It's not me, right? It's the category that I believe is big. It's the category that, as we heard yesterday, how many times did you hear from some of the people on stage that the thing that really attracted them was that we had a category? It's a category creator. See, so if we have a choice to swim around in this muddy water where everybody else is, as you heard say yesterday, sometimes where I talk about my dad can beat up your dad, or over here in the blue water where we're swimming alone. Okay, that's where we're at. We're in the blue water. And so, you know, as we're continuing to push forward, and you're going to hear some other things today, we have another amazing full day of people. But let's once again give everybody a round of applause for being here, guys. Okay, who's ready to learn today? Okay. Who's ready to be inspired today? Okay. Who's wanting to get some direction today? Okay, because just like all the amazing speakers and information we got yesterday, we're going to have another full-fledged day of that today. And I mean, I've heard talk in the halls, I've heard talk last night, and I heard people say, this can't be created any other way. Has anybody felt an energy here? Can you get this kind of energy at a home meeting, at a hotel meeting? You guys understand this is one of the reasons why this is so important. It's not to spend the money and to do this and to have these events. This is one of the greatest tools that we have to build our businesses. Do you feel like you've been energized? Okay, this stuff energizes me too. I need it just as much as you do. Okay, and that's why, as I was talking in the hall earlier this morning with some of our RAIN partners, they asked, you know, how do I have the energy? How do I do what I do? And it really is, guys, you feed me. You really do. When I go from a flight like I was talking about and get off, like tomorrow morning I'm getting on a flight for 20-something hours and I'm landing in Singapore. Okay, that's what I'm gonna happen. Right after this, no rest, right? Just gonna get up in the morning, my flight's at 9 a.m. and I'm gonna go to Singapore. And how do you have the energy? First off, we've got amazing products to keep me alive, right? And trust me, I live off of them. I live off of RAIN products. But the second thing is I get the energy from you. I mean, how do we not get together like this and not be lifted? How do we get together like this and not want to work hard? Is your motivation and belief level increased? Absolutely. Absolutely. So I need this. I need to stay plugged in. And the beautiful thing is as much as I travel and stuff, I'm plugged in. I'm always plugged in. I'm excited to hear it today because I learned from you as well. So thank you so much for everything that's been said, that's been taught so far. What have you guys thought about the comp plan differences? All right, well, we'll talk a little bit more about that later. What do you think about our focus on making a difference? Has that been good? Is that really? And so we keep hearing over and over again, even after I was there, we started posting some stuff on social media, even when we were experiencing that, you know, I had a lot of messages and people even saying, Byron, I want to participate in something like that. How can we do that? You know, I even had some of the diamonds, because we're getting ready to do some diamond retreats. We're going to be going down to Cancun, where we're going to fly all the diamonds, and we're going to have some good, some fun down there, some training, some planning. But we're also going to do some service. But I even had some of the diamonds say, can we do that instead? Can we do something like that instead? And that, like I said, that's the heart of RAIN. That really is the heart of RAIN. And I think that stuff resonates with people in this room and resonates with people around the world. And, you know, we're doing it not because, as we talked about yesterday, because it's good marketing. We do good because we want to do good. Okay, we do good by doing good. And we're basically using those universal principles to buoy everybody up. So what I'm kind of excited about today, and you know, and I want to give shout outs to everybody once again. I know there were people that stayed up really late last night to be a part of these live sessions, which once again, we're a live session all around the globe. So let's say hi to everybody in all the different countries again. Shout out to everybody. Guys, thank you so much. We want you to know that us in this room, there we go. Let's go to Lagos, because we didn't see them yesterday, did we? Let's go to Lagos. Here we are in Nigeria. Hello, Nigeria! Thanks for tuning in. Okay, let's do some more shout outs. Shout out to Singapore. Hello, Singapore. Good morning. Or actually, good evening. Yeah, Singapore. Hey, where else do we got? I know we got Philippines. Let's say hello to the Philippines. Shout out to all of our partners in the Philippines. There we go. And I think we saw West Malaysia up there. Let's say hi to West Malaysia. There you go. Yes, I love it. Here we go. We got Rachel there in the front. East Malaysia, are we there? Are we? There we go. And we got a packed room full in Russia. Let's say hi to all of our Russian RAIN partners. We had a chance to get some amazing information from Dr. Cook in Ukraine, and we're going to do that again today. We're going to get some more. So let's say hi to all of our Ukrainian friends and RAIN partners. Okay, and hopefully I'm not missing any. Berlin, of course. Let's go here in Berlin. You know what? They told me the staff at the back of the room that it was kind of funny because there was a video or two that we had ready that weren't all, that wasn't queued up in some of the markets, and one of them was Berlin. And so while we were playing a video, they didn't have a video to play. So what they did is just turned on some music and did a dancing chain around the whole room together. So while we were doing a video, they were just dancing and waiting for this. So, you know, people like to have a fun time, and that's the thing. I love this. Because where else in the world are you going to get in a room, be able to go all these places around the world, and get around people that have like-minded views, have like-minded individuals that really want to go out there and make a difference. And that's why I love RAIN. One of the reasons I love RAIN, and to me, RAIN is kind of a living organism, is because RAIN is, it's the people, it's us. It's what we're doing. And you synergistically make me better, you do. Because we take everybody and our energies and our talents and our beliefs and our convictions and our goals, and we work together to get more. That's why we talk about changing things and becoming more. So, we want to do more. And as you can see from yesterday, that is not talk. Everything that we talked about and we implemented, was it more or less? It's more. Are we going to be able to give more or less? To the RAIN partners, to people, to charities, to the world. See, it's not a statement. It's a statement if all you do is state it. But when you do it, it's a different thing. And that's why we as a company, or even myself or you, when you get on stage, can't you feel the power when someone actually believes what they say? You can feel it. Don't you have personal power when you say something and then you do it? You do. See, and that's one of the reasons why we resonate with people as we go around the globe and share this, because it's not just a statement, it's what we do. And you can see that in the results. And so we want you to be able to participate. You're going to see a lot more of this going on. But we want to announce something where we're going to allow people to participate in the next trip to Uganda. Who would like to do that? You guys like to do that? And not just to Uganda, not just to Lugazi, but we have other places around the globe that we're putting together where we can go and really make a difference with what we're doing. With what we're doing. But as you can see, this is going to be the first one, and we're going to have more, but we can't have like 50 people show up. I can't have like 100 people show up because they just don't have the ability to take care of that many people at one time, right? You kind of see the scenario, there's limited resources, there's limited things going on. So with this first one, we're going to follow up. I want to kind of tell you how we're going to do this, but we can take a total of 10 couples or 20 people. That's kind of the max that they can actually facilitate. You know, and even then, that's a couple of vans on a dirt road trying to get somewhere. That's maxing out the beds in a location where we can sleep. But we really can't do more than that on this one. But we're going to follow up with a lot. So we're going to chart, as we kind of have the RAIN Maker program, we're going to call this the Change Maker trip. We got the RAIN Maker and the Change Maker. So we're going to start putting together these change maker trips, and we're going to start doing more and more and more of them as we go out there and we continue to have more kids go to school, as we continue to have more people in classes, as we continue to do that, and we're going to go out there and actually be a part of that whole thing. So this first one is going to be in the fall. We're going to get the exact dates as they're locking them down right now, but it's a few months away, and we'll get that out soon. But it's going to be in Uganda, and we're going to go right to Musana. You're going to go right to where all this stuff is happening. You're going to be able to be in the middle of it and experience it all. So here's how we're going to do this promotion. Now, as we're putting this promotion together, we don't want to confuse anything with everything else that we've talked about, right? We've just given you a RAIN Maker program. We've given you all these percentages, 15, 5, 7, 10, 15, you know. You don't need another percentage to try to figure out right now. We want people to focus on what we're trying to accomplish. Now, as you heard Casey say yesterday, Casey mentioned that, you know, starting today, every single person in RAIN, if you want to participate, you can. You have, right now, 2 weeks, 14 days to get 2 people and make an extra 15% on them, right? That's starting for everybody. You can go through that process right now. Every single person can. So as we do that, as you go through that process, you have an opportunity, if you want to get the additional 5%, 7, and 10, you can. What we want to do is not just you, but I want to empower, because you have all these people that are already in your business. You have all these people that maybe you're going to get into your business. So here's how we're going to do this. And I'm just going to be, for us to send somebody, it's going to be about $3,000. 3,000 US dollars. For us to send a couple, because we can have them stay in the same rooms and stuff, it's about $4,500. Okay? So if we send 10 couples, that's $45,000 that it's going to cost RAIN. But we want you to experience that. So here's the promotion that we're going to do. Let's get into this. I want to keep things in perspective with what we're doing, but you're going to have, let's just talk about what we're going to get to do first. You're going to have a chance to go meet, obviously, the artisans, watch them do the jewelry, explore the rainforests, work on our Child Development Center. That would probably be one of our projects, as working with the Child Development Center. Focus on the library, which is great, and then maybe have a chance to go visit different schools where we put little mini libraries and go and share that experience with them and bring them some additional resources and conditional books. That's what we did the last time, but we brought them some new things. Okay, so assist with their education, and then if you want to, you don't have to. So you can raft the Nile. Now I'm going to tell you what. Okay, rafting the Nile, okay, the Nile is deep. There's no alligators or anything on this part of the Nile, right? So don't worry about that. That's closer to Egypt. This is kind of the mouth, which is crazy. The Nile goes for thousands of miles, and this is kind of the mouth out of Lake Victoria where it kind of starts on the stems from. But there are certain category rapids, and you usually have to be certified to go down a category 5. Okay, you have to be certified. There's category 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The Nile has category 5s. But because it's so deep that you're not going to, even if you fall out, you're not going to hit a rock, they allow you to go. It's like one of the only places in the world. It's one of the only places in the world. So I went. I did it. Monica went. We did it. And you know, it's funny because you have our raft, but they have somebody in the front of you in their own boat, somebody in the back of you in their own boat, and people right there. So when we went down to category 5, Monica went flying. She went out, and I think Dee fell out too on that one. I fell out on another one, but before they even came up out of the water, they were boomed or something. But it was amazing. It was pretty cool. Not saying you have to do that, but if you want to do that, that's an experience, because not only, I mean, how many people do you know have rafted the Nile River? And then how many people do you know have ever done a category 5 rapid? I mean, we literally went off like cliffs. We were, it was crazy. It was fun. I'll have to show you the video. It's not as cliffy as I'm making it sound, but it's still in rock. All right. When you're at the top of it, it looks steep. It looks steep. So, as well as this, once again, you're just going to be able to be part of the community, be part of that, and really, you know, as we kind of feel like we're RAIN family, you really start to hear the stories, and you become family with these people, and you see what it's doing in there, and how they even support each other through their crazy times that we all experience in life. And so, it's an experience that I'll never forget. And I know that any other place that we go, even outside of this, is going to be the same thing. But we're putting trips together in this hemisphere, as far as in Asia and different places, so that it can be more cost effective, right? So we can go in North America and we can do good like this in North America. So the people in Africa and people in Europe can go do good in those regions as well as Europe and Asia. So for this one, our first one, and we're going to have many more, here's how we're going to do this. See, I don't want to, like I said, invent anything new than what we're trying to already do. So I want you to think of all the people that you have right now existing in your organization that you can go and hopefully try to motivate with all these enhancements. I want you to think of the new people that you're going to go get. So this isn't you going out and hitting status. This is you helping your people hit status, okay? And it's everybody on your front line. Everybody that's directly, personally sponsored to you can play. And you get credit for this. So here's what I want us to focus on. Since we're already doing this, we're going to go out and do these things. Is if you have somebody go through 2 phases, that's a $500 credit. Okay? 2 phases equals a credit. A credit is worth $500 towards either the $3,000 it takes to go, or the $4,500 it takes to go as a couple. Okay? And once again, we have a total of 20 people that we can take on this first trip. So as we put this program together, it's going to be a lot more fluid, as this will be kind of our first one as we do. So you need 6 credits, because 6 times 5 is what? 500, 3,000 for a single person to go by yourself, or if you want to take somebody else, you need 9 credits. Now, based on how this whole thing plays out, if somebody needs to buy a credit and make up the 500 or something, that's obviously a possibility as well. But that's just what it costs to do it, okay? So how is this going to look? How does this work? Oops, someone go back here. So if you're looking at you and your front line, okay, your frontline organization, if one person goes through 2 of those phases, okay, and completes that, then you're going to get what? 1 credit. So if you got one person that now, from today, goes maker and goes rainmaker, that's 1 credit. If you have 2 people that both go maker, that's 1 credit. Okay? That's 1 credit. So what I need is I just need, obviously, enough volume, because how much am I already giving out of those percentages? We're getting a lot, right? So we're saying we're going to take, because we want you to experience this, we're going to take some of the additional profitability, which at this point, we're getting a lot already, and I need 2 people to go through a status. I got 2, we got 2 of those things to equal 1 credit of $500. Does that make sense? We'll send out some information on this. So if you have 2 people that go and hit maker, that's 1 credit. If you have 1 person that goes all the way to rainmaker, so they do maker, maker 2, maker 3, and then rainmaker, how many credits do you get? 2, right? Because two of these phases are going to give you 1 credit. So this way, I'm not going to say, okay, go personally sponsor 10 people. Well, that's not what we've been teaching all weekend, right? Or go do this or go do that. I want us to focus on what we just launched. And let's go help our people go through this process. And every time somebody does the 2, you're going to get that credit. Okay, and if we have multiple people, we have too many people that get credits, let's say we have a tiebreaker, I'm going to have to look at what? What should I look at? I'm going to have to look at the volume, right? And say, out of those two phases, how much CD was in that? So I'm going to have to look at that if there are ties. And in the future, we'll just probably, as we put more together, if we have multiple people hit these promotions and stuff, we'll just say, okay, you're not going on this one, but you're in the next one. That kind of a thing. But we are really limited, once again, just because of the resources there and the ability to be able to take care of people when they're there. We want to make sure that you have a place to sleep and all those things, and the accommodations are what we need to be. So does this excite you? Okay? Does this excite you? You want to go and actually witness some of the stuff that we saw. I'm telling you what you do, because it has changed my life forever. And so right now, this is kind of a global thing, though, on this first trip, guys. So it's not like we're taking 20 people from the U.S., and 20 people from Russia, and 20 people from the Ukraine, and 20 people from Berlin. We're taking 20 people, okay? We're taking 20 people. So I'm sure that we're going to have a lot of people run for that, but it's going to be worth it. But what are we doing anyway? Shouldn't we be doing what we just taught? We should be doing this anyway, right? So whether you get to go on this first trip or not, this is the activity that we should be doing. So as we put more together, and you're going to see a whole team come behind this in the next month or 2, you're going to see that our division of Seats for Change is going to be beefed up in a big way, so that we can have the organization and all this stuff put in place that we need for this to continually happen. Okay, so someone's going to be kind of over and in charge of this. So as we start off today, I wanted to start off by letting everybody know this, that we want you to experience what you're doing. I want you to see the difference you're making. And you look in that person's eye, and you see that their life has been changed forever because of something that you did. Because when that happens, it makes all the things that we go through even that much easier, because there's a purpose behind it. We have our own whys, but when you can take your why, because here's what I feel at night sometimes when I go to sleep. I don't have my own whys, but I feel the pressure of all yours. Right? I feel the pressure of all your whys. But that's a good thing. And I think that when you go out there and you're seeing, these guys have whys, and they have hopes, and they have dreams, and they have kids, and they have families, and they have a purpose too. And my why can help facilitate their why. And that's powerful. So we are going to go out and change the world, like we talked about, one person at a time. And it's going to matter every single time. Okay, there's not an instance where it doesn't matter. Where it just every time it matters. So I'm excited about this, and I hope you are too, because this change maker trip. This first one that we do, it's going to be historical, and then we're going to follow up with many more. I think this just needs to be part of who we are. Get people out there, getting our hands dirty, guys. Yeah, you're going to have some fun, but I just want to know, you will get dirty probably. You're going to get dirty. No, we're not going to over-exhaust anybody or put you in harm's way that way. But we don't want to just go out there and look at it. We want to go out there and do. Right? We want to do. So we're going to be doers and not just hearers. So anyway, I appreciate that. I appreciate starting off today, and everybody once again staying up wherever you're at around the globe. Once again, we're with you. I want you to know that even though we're not all together, we really are together. And I was pretty amazing to see that yesterday. Actually, it worked out a lot better than I thought. I was a little bit nervous. But when we had Dr. Christina Cook come through and we could hear and we could see, I really think that we're on to something, especially as we expand into 30, 40, 50, 60 markets, where we really, as a company together, can do things together. And even though we're not all in the same room, we're on the same path, the same mind, trying to focus on the same things. And together, feel that energy that we get from each other. I mean, was it good just to see the other rooms? That make a difference just to see that these other rooms are full all over the world. So guys, we appreciate you. I want you to know if you're not in this room, we love you. And let's have another amazing day today. And then as we go out after this weekend, we're going to go out and create a rainstorm on this planet that the world hasn't seen yet. So it's about to rain in a big way. So thanks everybody. We appreciate the good work. Let's get this thing started. Thank you.
Кажется, что мы живем на разных планетах. Кто-то покупает слишком много, а у кого-то нет возможности купить хоть что-то. Мы используем слова «избыточное потребление», «переработанные продукты», «зря потраченное». А другие используют слова «голод», «недоедание», «дефицит». В чем заключается наша ответственность? Особенно, когда у нас есть настоящие возможности. Как вы можете помочь?
Please welcome to the stage.
Thanks, guys. I'm going to jump down here today like Byron, huh? We're kind of moving around up here on this little platform that's kind of hard to see everybody's faces. So today, I'm going to be talking a little bit about kind of what I'm doing and kind of some of the changes that we've been making at the corporate headquarters to kind of really put some more gas on our businesses, right? So we can kind of get moving around a little bit faster and start to really help and impact the world. So as some of you know, the last basically 4 months, I spent a lot of time in Mexico. And kind of strategically by RAIN, the reason why I'm doing that is because there's a lot of countries, and even the United States, which happens to be the second largest country with the population speaking Spanish, is here in the United States. Right now, if you look around the room, we've got a few people that speak Spanish, right? Hay algunos. Okay, ahí están. Vienen de Mexico. They came from Mexico, right? There's a few of them. How many Spanish-speaking people do we have here from U.S.? There's a few, right? Okay? But when we start talking about the places that RAIN's doing business really well right now, Texas, California, Florida, 33% of the population there, Spanish-speaking, right? And so today what I want to talk to you guys about is kind of helping all of us become really conscientious on that group, because they're going to take us, continue to help us in Mexico. We got a lot of guys right now that are doing really well. It's one of our better, fastest growing markets right now is Mexico. Yeah, these guys are doing an amazing job. Okay, and so today, kind of how are we doing that? I'm going to talk a little bit more in the afternoon on how and the things and the tools that we're using to make that happen. But today, I want to just kind of make sure that we are conscientiously thinking of that, right? And I know, a lot of people in Europe have a lot of contacts into some of these places. And our goal with RAIN right now is going to be focusing on Mexico and on US, the Spanish-speaking community. And you're going to see some things, guys, that, we're taking this very serious. I learned from a company where I was about 15 years ago, really how to do and cultivate the Latin community inside of RAIN. And it literally will be kind of more like a division of RAIN. You're going to see, presidents and vice presidents of sales and different things, because it's a culture, guys. It's just like our culture right now. These countries have cultures. And you're going to start seeing as we're going to grow and expand. And actually, talking to some of the German speakers that are out there, you guys, you're going to start seeing us really focus a lot more on the cultures inside of RAIN. As you see Byron talking about a trip. You guys excited about that? It's kind of cool, right? The opportunity to go help in Uganda. In fact, we're actually working on another trip right now down in Mexico to do the same kind of thing, another incentive trip for all of you guys to be able to go down and participate and help us expand. And that's going to continue that effort, because we need to focus on these cultures, building them in the way that they want to be built, right? That's what we have to focus on in order to win. And I learned that in that other company. They've got huge sales, 30-40% of what they do, and they're $500 million, and have been for years and years. That's how they've done this and grown that. So you're going to see us doing events. We're going to be taking you guys, leaders, down into some of these countries, and start kind of showing them how to do RAIN, but we're going to focus on building them and in their culture. So today I want to invite up a good friend of mine, a guy that I'm working very closely with in Mexico. I want to introduce him to you. So Marco Alba, si puedes pasar. So Marco here, Marco's been instrumental in helping RAIN in Mexico. And so I want to introduce you guys to him so you know who he is, and you know a little bit about what we're doing in Mexico. Because I know a lot of you have contacts and friends and family and people that you know in this space, and I want you to understand and know how to build that culture. So that's what we're going to be kind of talking about the rest of this next few minutes. And Marco and Jorge, he's here, but he's sick today. He's not feeling very good, so but he's been really instrumental as well in helping us with the customer relationship aspects. These guys are hitting city after city, helping us grow and expand. And so some of the things, just kind of so you understand how we're building right now down there, we use some of the systems, the app, and we're going to talk about that a little bit later this afternoon. That's how we're introducing people into the business, so we can go and move fast. The other thing that we're doing right now is we're doing what we call RAIN days, and you're going to see this kind of morph here in the U.S. as well, where we're identifying key cities in Mexico, and every single month, cada mes, these guys back here know that too. Every month we do a training, but it's a training to help the new person understand and learn the tools, learn the compensation plan, learn how to use the back office, learn how to place orders and sign people up. So it's like the basic training, right? And we do that month after month in different cities. So my goal is to have within a 3-hour radius of these key cities where everybody within 3 hours can somehow get to one of these trainings. And that's how we're growing. Mexico, it's growing, it's moving. So I'm gonna have Marco kind of tell you too about some of the things that we've done, because a lot of companies, when they go into these countries, they don't get set up right, okay? They do things, especially in Mexico and South America, they don't do it correctly. And so they start, they grow, governments kick them out, and ball game over, right? RAIN, we took the time to do this right. So Marco, cuéntales un poco de lo que tú has hecho, yo voy a traducir.
Gracias. Está bien.
Thank you. Good.
RAIN es una empresa disruptiva y también estamos haciendo algo disruptivo en la parte de importación.
Okay, so RAIN's like a disruptive type company. We've done a lot of things to change the way that we do it in Mexico.
Regularmente hay un permiso previo de importación. Hoy en día RAIN tiene un permiso permanente para meter mercancía de solo licor de manera permanente hasta que nosotros digamos basta.
Okay, so normally companies register products. Yes, he's clapping because this is a big deal. Okay, normally companies, when they register products, they don't get everything completely organized all the time. And what we've done down in RAIN, I say we, Mr. Marco here, what we've done is we've gotten a permission to import legally anytime that we want. So we can take products in and we can get them in there quick, which is going to save us, our company, and you guys a lot of money and help us keep costs down.
Okay. La otra es que nosotros estamos también apoyando la parte no solamente desde el punto de vista legal, sino también en la comercialización a través de capacitación, a través de una imagen institucional que represente lo que es RAIN.
Yep. So part of what we have is, I mean, we've got a lot of legal things that we've done as well, but we've got a big group of people through Marco's group that he's put together to help us with all of the management from legal, accounting, all of the things that we need. Marco and his group have been able to help us with that, make sure that we're set up correctly.
Estamos nosotros en un proceso de generar una comunicación institucional a través de Facebook. Lo hemos logrado después de tener solamente 250 seguidores. Hoy tenemos cerca de 6,000 en apenas 60 días.
Okay, so one of the things that we're focusing on right now is the Facebook use. So RAIN Latino America, write that down. RAIN International Latino America. That's spelled like that. Find it. These guys are doing an amazing job. We had 250 people, hitting that page. Now we're up to about 6,000 in just a couple months. So anybody that wants to know what's going on, Facebook page, that's where we're going to post everything.
Estamos para dar soporte a los asociados. Queremos que se preocupen de vender y nosotros nos preocuparemos de entregar. Estamos entregando con una eficiencia del 98.62% en 24 a 36 horas.
Yeah, so one of the things that these guys have done is what he's saying is we've created a system down there where the distributors can focus on selling, moving, and recruiting, because they've set up logistics in a way where we've got it's just slightly under 99% efficiency down there, with shipping within 24 to 3 days, 24 hours in some places. Very efficient shipping down there. I mean, if you think about that, we're 1% of the orders are not getting there, but that's due to address errors, people typing in bad information. So very efficient.
Nunca hemos quedado sin mercancía porque no podemos importarla. Nosotros estemos en el compromiso de resolver cualquier problema.
Yeah.
Tenemos garantía de entrega. En el momento en que tenemos cualquier problema, podemos responder en 24 horas máximo.
Yeah, so one of the things that we've never had down there is like a stock out issue due to like not being able to import, which in Mexico is, if you understand that culture and the challenges there, that's very, very good. Within 24 hours, we're able to get product that hits in customs through and cleared in customs within 24 hours. It's an amazing thing that these guys have done.
Queremos que sientan que tienen un soporte RAIN en México, que somos para ustedes.
Okay, so he's saying, I just want you guys to all understand that we're here to support you in Mexico. If you want to build down there, we're here to help and we're going to make that happen. Okay, gracias. Hey, thanks. So just like all around the rest of the world, we've got people behind the scenes in every country that are making these things happen. And you know, as my responsibilities at RAIN and what they've been, I mean, it's imperative that we have people that understand the cultures, the legal ramifications, how to make this business grow, right? It's not an easy task, but because we have guys like Marco, Jorge, you know, you got Vladimir's and Kelvin, and I go on and on and on about all the people behind the scenes that are making this happen. Guys, as distributors, as RAIN partners, as customers, you know, we've got a big infrastructure behind us. Millions and millions and millions of dollars have been invested into this platform, so we can go and do what we want to do, right? The beautiful thing about today's world is social media, right? No matter where we're at, you know, if we want to do business in a foreign place because we like that country and we want to go see that place, we can do it, right, babies? Did you ever think you're ever going to be in Ghana, right? I mean, things like that, you can do it because RAIN set that up, you know, through guys like this. So I wanted to just today, again, talk about Mexico, talk about, you know, Latin America. I'm, you know, here to support you guys in that. I'm very serious when I say that. If you have Spanish-speaking friends, and if the language is a barrier, I can help you with that, okay? Contact customer support. Let them know that you've got some people that are interested in building in that space. And I promise you I will do what I can do to make sure that they're taken care of and we get them introduced to RAIN the right way. And we start growing RAIN, US, Latin America, right? It's going to be huge. The RAIN, just the US market alone is massive. If we start to understand that, guys, you guys can make a lot of money as we focus on helping these people. I mean, some of the things that SOL does is like the #3 cause of death in Mexico. SOL happens to be one of those things that, you know, it supports and aids in some of these things that we're dealing with. I mean, and it's very serious. I mean, I mean, one of the issues down there, they've almost called it an epidemic now because it's so big. And it just so happens to be that we've got products with ingredients that help with some of that stuff. So, you know, it's important that we understand that. You know, it's a big opportunity, a great opportunity to make some changes. And as we continue to go and expand into these countries, you're going to see RAIN and our approach is going to be a little bit different. I mean, as Brian kind of talked about, we've got a lot of countries open. You know, there's a few that we still haven't opened yet. But guys, we're going to focus on the countries that we're in. So there really isn't a need to talk about, I'll just be honest, going into another country right now. If you think, oh, what about Australia? We're not going there right now, okay? Our objective is to hone in our tools, sharpen our saws, so to speak, so we can go and have a bigger impact faster in all of these countries, okay? So I think you guys are probably with me on that. We need better tools, translated, culture, you know, get the culture right, the videos that you're going to be seeing. I mean, we've got amazing assets, but if they're not in the languages in the right way, they're kind of, it's tough, right? And our friends all over the world, you know, they know what I'm talking about. We're going to focus on you guys. We're going to help you make sure that, you know, that you have what you need and that we focus. I mean, we need to focus as RAIN because as we, you know, Byron was saying the other day, it's like a magnifying glass, right? If you're always waving it around all over the place, it's pretty hard to get a fire started. But if you know, concentrate that, magic happens, right? And that's what's going to happen at RAIN International this year and probably next year as we grow this thing and really start hitting our goals. We'll start hitting strides here in the next couple of months. We're going to look at this and it's going to be completely different. I mean, the ability to recruit, okay, faster is going to change through some of these tools that I'm going to talk about a little bit later. I've already put them into practice because I wanted to know for myself that what we're talking about is really, truly going to work, right? So before I tell you guys, I'm not going to be guinea pigging you, right? I'll go do that on my own with some of my friends and family, and then we'll make sure that it's working right. And you're going to see some of that today. We got some great speakers this afternoon that are going to show you some of these tools. So, guys, it's time to focus, okay? It's time to run. It's time to introduce more people to RAIN. We need to change from a management type, let's just try to keep what we have, to let's go get more. Let's go introduce more friends and family. Let's call that chicken list that we talked about yesterday, right? It's time to get after that. Because there's people that need what we have. There's people that know people that speak Spanish in our communities that we can help. Okay? They need what we have. I've seen it. I've seen it. Ellos los han visto, lo que necesitamos, ¿ah? La gente necesita RAIN, ¿verdad? Okay, see? They need what we have. The testimonials down there are the same that you guys are seeing here. They need RAIN. They need seed nutrition, and it's our privilege to take it to them. So thank you guys. We'll talk to you later.
Please welcome back to the stage, Byron Pelka.
Oh yeah, that's exciting. And Case is doing a great job, and that's really it. I mean, I don't want this to feel like it's an American company. It's not an American company. This is everybody's company. I want it to be, in Berlin, I want it to be a German company, right? In Mexico, we want it to be a Mexican company. When we're in the Ukraine, we want it to be a Ukrainian company. We want it to be everybody's company, no matter where we're at, whether it's Malaysia or Hong Kong, or, you know, I always feel bad when I start listening because I know I missed something. But all the countries that we're in, we want it to be yours. And I love that what we're doing here is even where we teach the distributors, where you build into our culture, you are RAIN, but you're still building a kind of a company within a company, right? We need to do the same thing in the different countries and cultures. So that we don't just say it's the American way and this is how we do it. That's not going to work everywhere. Because, I mean, there's a lot of different ways to do things. And a lot of different cultures that we need to focus on, right? What's important? So we take the things that are universal, like nutrition, and we take the things that are universal, like goals and dreams, and we come together in that, but at the same time, we want to make sure that we're not just setting our ways on a certain way to do it globally. So I'm really excited about that. Now, as we get into this next point, we're going to have a couple segments where we get to hear from different parts of the world. We're going to go back to Dr. Kристина Kuk here in a minute. We're also going to have a chance to see Russ, who's in Berlin. He's going to come in and talk to us for a minute as well. So, you know, as we kind of intro this next portion of this next part, what I'm excited about is there has been, ever since we brought Kристина on board, amazing things have happened at a faster pace. You want to know how many patents we really have before Kристина? I think maybe one. You want to know how many patents we have since we brought Kристина on board? 17 on seed nutrition. Okay? That's what happens when we get the people that have the experience and are the caliber of Kристina. So it's amazing to have her and her experience and the research. And as you're seeing, when it comes to different things that we're doing as far as products and future products, the sky is the limit, like we've always known. But I mean, we can come up with a lot of them if we want to, because of how much we have and how many people we have now focused on that because of our advisory board that we put together. So, would anybody today like to hear about something else? Okay, and I think you might think you know what it is. You don't. You don't know what it is. Okay? You might think you know, but you don't. So what I want to do is not only I think do we love Kристина because of her background and because of her experience, but she has a heart, doesn't she? They just love her heart. You know, people can feel that as she goes around. You can't not love Kристina because you can feel her passion for why she's doing what she does. And that's one of the reasons why I believe she's here at RAIN. Because you got to have that passion to do what you do. and then she's bringing like-minded individuals to the table as well. So let's go back and give a warm welcome for all the people sitting all around the globe. Let's give a warm welcome together for one of our favorite doctors on this planet, and that is Dr. Kристина Кук.
I'm so excited to see everyone in every country. I really enjoy being in the Ukraine, but it's amazing to be able to also see people in all these different countries and to be able to do this together. I'm very thankful to Byron Belka and RAIN and the leadership of RAIN, as well as the leadership and the new members of RAIN. So today, I have an exciting opportunity to be able to discuss with you all 2 new things that we are launching. And we are doing pilots and rolling this out right now. Some people in some countries will be having samples of the product. Other people in other countries like Ukraine will be getting those. But we are getting ready in the next couple of months to launch a product that is called Immune. So I'm going to give us one more second to try to put the slide deck onto the screen. But while we're waiting on that, I want to talk to you guys about this product. And you guys know how I am. I like to relate what we're talking about in products to people and to you and to our company. So today, when I talk about the new product, Immune, I am going to talk about our company. When you build a company, we talked about this yesterday, you start with the leadership and the foundation and you make it strong. When you build a family, you want the mother and father to be strong so the children are strong. When we make products, we do the same thing. Like we talked about yesterday, we need different products to make our bodies stronger, better, more confident, able to fight infection, bacteria, etc. We want to prevent disease. When you start with a product and you're formulating it and making it, your thought is, what am I going to do to help people's bodies and their cells? Just like when you build companies, when Byron built RAIN and the leadership built RAIN, they started thinking, what is the foundation and what are we going to build? Today, I'm proud to announce we have a new product we are rolling out called Immune. It is a chewable formula that's almost like a taffy. It tastes very good, I can tell you. I really like it. We wanted something that every child or every person would want more of. That it would be so good that people would want it. But let me tell you what we really did when we were making this product. We wanted something that was so seed-packed, so full of energy, that it would give each cell in your body what it needed to really fight off things during the day, so it was as strong as it could be. We started with one cell at a time, looking at what does each cell need to arm itself with what it needs to boost the immunity. Again, going back to this company, and I love RAIN, so I want to talk about this. When you build these companies, you don't try to give one person or one individual or one team more attention than the other.
You want to help everyone, right? But you've got to start with one cell at a time. It's the same thing in your body. When you take something, the nutrients go in, and it goes to these cells that need that energy the most. Just like in a company, you have to give the people that need the energy the most, or need the leadership the most attention. It doesn't mean that you don't love the other cells or the other people, right? In your body, when you take immune, you're giving each cell, starting with the weakest cell and the strongest cell, the ingredients it needs. The cells are fortified, so the strongest cells in your body can fight the fight they need to fight and communicate with the weaker cells that they need to be strong like them, and they need the ingredients too. Because your strong cells in your body will always communicate the most and lead the other cells to the right ingredients. Remember how we said they communicate, they talk? That's what this product does. When you take Mu, you're arming your cells with the antioxidants, nutrition, one cell at a time, so that your strong cells are communicating with your other cells that they need to be strong, they need to be united, and they need to fight off bad things like bacteria, viruses, parasites, and diseases. You are responsible for your bodies. If you want to be healthy, and you want your family and friends to be healthy, you have to take it upon yourself, no matter what else is going on, to build each cell one cell at a time, and to arm those cells with all the weapons and all the things they need so they are as strong as they can be. What is inside this formula? Some of the best things in life are the simplest things in life. Some things are not that complicated. This is one of those formulas that was not that complicated, but it was very needed and very instrumental to your body so that you can have the strongest body that you can have as you live each day. And so that your family, friends, and the other people around you are able to have this as well. You are arming your body with additional weapons, just like you do when you have soul and core and pure, so that your body is armed with the things it needs to go throughout the day. I'm in the Ukraine right now. I had the privilege of having dinner at Marina and Victor's home with the Diamonds. Again, the leadership, and there's many leaders in the Ukraine, but some of your leaders in the Ukraine, they have the energy and then they feed the rest of the people. No favoritism, just showing people in the community and in the country that I do believe in this country. I do believe in the leadership. I am here to fight the fight with you guys so we can help as many people together as we can. This is what this product is doing. It is going in, going to the cells, going to the leaders, arming those leaders so they can communicate with the other cells that maybe they're just not there yet, but they may end up being stronger. They may end up being the leader, but you gotta get those cells along with the healthy cells so that they're even stronger, right? That's what this product does. It has blackberry seed, black raspberry, cranberry, red raspberry, white riesling, and then we added a very potent vitamin C and zinc. So I think most of us know blackberry seed. This is very important as far as vitamin C and E, as well as your omegas. A lot of times you guys ask me, do we have omega-3 and 6 in our ingredients? This is a very strong omega-3 and 6 as far as blackberry seed. So we added that along with the fact that it has a lot of antioxidants, and actually every ingredient included in the Chew Mu has a lot of antioxidants. So it is able to actually help, like we talked about yesterday, supporting the head, heart, and lungs. Black raspberry seed is another one of the oils that was used. Again, this is a very strong weapon for the body. One of the things I love the most about black raspberry is it does support overall health with the phytonutrients. That means those nutrients are very good at going into the cell, protecting the cell with a ring around the cell so it has an extra coverage. That's one of the things that's really good about this seed, and it was one of the strongest ingredients we included in meat. Cranberry seed oil, you guys know we've talked about this many times. This is a very important seed oil. If you look at cranberry seed, it's been used in numerous studies and numerous drugs to be developed to help fight off things like autoimmune diseases with multiple sclerosis, things like psoriasis, other things like people that are experiencing Alzheimer's, dementia, problem with thinking. Cranberry seed has been used to do that as well. So this is another important nutrient and vitamin that is able to go into the cell and really impact the cell. Red raspberry seed, again, you guys will see throughout this, we're really combining ingredients that are increasing your omega-3s and omega-6, and your antioxidants. We really want to arm the body with extra things, so as you get up and go through your day, no matter what you're exposed to, you have the best defense that you can have. White rice seed oil. This is something that we've talked about a couple of times as well because we've used it in other products that we have. Boosts your immunity again, helps with inflammation, antioxidants. Think of this as something you take in your day so that when you're going throughout your day, it gives you extra armor so that you know that you can arm the cells inside of you with even extra protection, because we're really making sure you have the vitamins and minerals that you need inside the body. Many of you guys have asked, why haven't you listed the vitamins and minerals on some of the packaging? This particular chew is making sure that you even have those extra vitamins and minerals that a lot of you guys have been requesting. Vitamin C, we added 500 milligrams of vitamin C. So no one had to question whether they were getting enough vitamin C. Is included in the chew. We all know that vitamin C is used throughout history and throughout research as something to really help with immunity. We all know that it's used when you have a cold. There's a lot of people that take it only when they get a cold. What people do not realize is if you take that amount of vitamin C, it hopefully will prevent you from getting a cold or virus. So no one can make promises on what's going to happen. Everyone gets sick, but this is extra armor again for your body. We talked about bacteria, viruses, and fungus with the prebiotics and probiotics by Pure. Pure is very important to make sure you're stabilizing your body and that you really are equalizing what's going on, right? So it's a peaceful environment. This gives you extra armor so that if there are things that are still going on or that you're exposed to, you have a better fight to fight.
I know people are gonna.
Sorry, I know people might ask, why do we need all of these formulas? Why do we need Sol? Why do we need Pure? Why do we need Core? Why do we need Immune? When you build an army or you build a company, I'd like to ask you guys, do you want to stop building or do you want to build to be the greatest army and company that there is? My answer is, I want to keep building. When something goes wrong, do you know what happens with me? I want to build even more. What you guys are getting today, in case there's any question, is the ability to keep building your army, building your businesses, and building your health with your bodies. So that's what we're giving you today. We also are equipping you with 5 milligrams of zinc. Zinc is very important as far as hormone production and growth, anti-aging, cell protection, and a lot of different things for your health. It gives you overall ability to fight off the entry of something even entering the body in a lot of research studies. This is coming soon. We're excited to bring it to you. I can tell you guys again, I love it. And we're very happy that we will be rolling this out into all the countries. So thank you. I'm not going to sit down yet. As Byron said, I think there's more that we're talking about today than most people or anyone really knew. we've been working very hard as a leadership team to try to build partnerships with societies, with leaders that are doctors in every community, and with you all so that we can get clinical science research information out there and so that we can give you the tools so you will be able to go into doctors' offices and provide them as a professional with information they can use for every patient. We also wanted to give you tools so you could go in and you could let a doctor have a platform where they would be able to give their patients information on nutrition, supplements, and science that they couldn't get anywhere else. That's not that easy. So it's taken us a while to get there. We've been building International Seed Nutrition Society through different conversations and chats and roundtable discussions, and we've listened to you. At first, we wanted to roll out a database where we would be able to gather research information, which we are doing. When you ask me, Christina, how much, or Dr. Cook, how much of the soul do I need to take if someone has breast cancer? I can't answer that because I, as a scientist, don't have all that information. What I do have is access to information that shows with breast cancer what's happened in every country and how it's been able to treat breast cancer and how often black cumin seed was used for that. But how do I get that information to everyone that wants to be a seed expert? The only way we can do this is to create a platform where I'm not biased and I am looking at every seed and every nutrition, and I'm working with leaders throughout the world to create an environment, a society where we can educate healthcare providers, universities, governments on seed nutrition. So that's what we've been doing. So I'm proud to announce the International Seed Nutrition Society is ready to launch. Sorry, I'm still trying to. Okay, I'm going to talk about it while we're trying to do the slides. As far as the board of directors of this society, we have Dr. Diaz and Dr. Cather and myself. I'm chairman of the board. We have an individual named Susan Corbo who is leading the society, and she will be the president. I will be the chairman. We are launching this, though, also with the board of directors with Byron Belka being on our board, and a couple of other business leaders that we are selecting to be on our board. When you launch a society, you need leaders that are not just healthcare providers, but that are business leaders. So that's what we have done. We have built the underlying leadership. We're launching the committees. You guys heard me last year say, in each country, we will have a group that's running this and leading this, and then we'll be growing it. When we first launched this, we weren't sure we were going to roll it out to everyone, but we decided in order to really grow the Seed Science Organization, we needed to roll this out to business leaders. If you go to seedscience.org, and everyone in the Ukraine has a pamphlet on their sheet, and hopefully in every country, where it tells you the website to go to. You can apply today. You will be given a login and username, and then you will be given access to proprietary information that unless you're a member, you cannot have. If you are a member, we expect for members to be dedicated to seed science and nutrition and to help us roll this out and help us grow the seed science information, research, and data throughout the world. Each country will have a little bit of a different format. We will lean on leaders in each country to help us lead this. This is a partner of RAIN, but it's separate from RAIN. For the RAIN distributors and members, we are giving a discount into the society and the search engine. Once you become a member of the society, if you ask the question, for example, what does black cumin seed do for breast cancer, and you want it in Ukraine language, at the bottom of this sheet and of your IT platform, once you're a member, you will be able to translate any research or any information into 40 countries. Any language that is being used right now in those 40 countries, we have given access and we are able to convert so that you will be able to have that information. Another thing that you will be able to have with the Seed Society is you will be able to have access to the chairman of the board and the committees as well as the rest of the board of directors. If you have a question and you ask about a nutritional product or a seed, you will get a response within a week. When you go to apply for this organization, you will get an answer within a week. When we first did a launch of this, we were not prepared to roll all that out. The search engine was not ready. We do have this now, but I will tell you all, we will continue to grow the professionalism. If you're in the Ukraine, you can see what just happened. We just converted everything to your language. I can tell you, I don't know who's been more passionate about this, Byron or me. I feel guilty standing on stage and taking credit for things that took teams of people to build. We had people behind the scenes that really believed in this as well. This is a new category. When I tell you the first time I walked in that RAIN office and met Dan Scarpino and Russ Crowley, I knew it was a home for me. I mean it. They were dedicated to wellness prevention platforms. They were dedicated to the energy and time and commitment it was going to take to grow something no one else had done. There is not another company like ours that now has a platform and a business plan where some people are going to be able to walk into wellness clinics and develop the wellness nutritional supplement part of that clinic. We did. I don't know of another company that has a platform that has now been built that can go into an employee group like Walmart and bring in nutritional supplements because there's a program behind it that's attached. We do because of partnerships like the Seed Society. The Seed Society gives us the ability to stand arm's length from RAIN and become experts in seed science together. So you guys won't need me as much. You may not need me at all. You're going to be able to know exactly what those seeds do and how they help diseases. If there's something in that platform that we have not done, we need to know so that we can grow that information for your country and for the seed experts, which those seed experts will be you. I can't read your Ukraine, so I'm going to... Here's your board of directors currently. We are adding to this. This is your president. Can you guys go down? Susan Corbo. I actually, just to let you guys know, lived with Susan Corbo for 7 years through college and graduate school. She's like a sister to me. Her mother and dad died while we were living together. So she became like a sister. Susan Corbo is one of the top branding experts in the world. She lives in New York City. She has rolled out brands like Volkswagen and Target, and she's rolling this out throughout the world with us. We also have Michael Hogue, who's a top expert in healthcare, Brian Moore, who's an IT programmer and coder expert, Jeremy Breedlove, who is an investor and founder of multiple companies, and my fiance, as we talked about here. We have John Hayden, who has been a healthcare professional for 30 years. Leah Wright, who some of you guys met, who's a nurse practitioner and is an auditor for payer groups. Alicia Belt, who is over customer service, Dr. Diaz and Dr. Cather, and we have a long list of people we will be adding to this. I have asked for help already from a couple of people here so that we can grow it quickly. I am very thankful to say I have received that commitment, and I think that we will get that commitment in every other country. I'm here to tell you guys this will give you the weapons, just like immune and pure and soul and core, for you guys to be able to really impact more people. My name was Christina Wrong when I was born. I was a daughter, I was a sister. I then became a mother, wife. I went to school, I was a psychologist, then a scientist, then I worked for a pharmaceutical, I worked for RAIN. I also am helping run a society. If you think you don't have time for this, I'm going to tell you, you do. We each have different pieces of our bodies. We have different things we do in life. If you want to never age, you will keep learning. You will keep helping. And as Byra Belka said, you need to give before you're going to receive. So this is something I feel very passionate about. Not because I need to be in a society. I've been in societies. Not because I need something else behind my name or for something else for me to do. But because, like Byron said, which is why he's leading with me the board of directors, like Byron said, this is a new category. If we do not prove it and show it, who is going to? And like we talked about earlier here in the Ukraine, it's not always easy to be a leader. There's conflict, people get mad, people argue, you have to decide what to do. But here's one thing I know. If you try every day, if your heart's in the right place, if you are committed and dedicated, you will succeed. And I'm asking you all to work with me and work with the leadership of the society and to work with RAIN, because RAIN is the leader in seed nutrition. And I'm asking us to all do this together. Thank you so much.
Now please welcome back to the stage, Byron Belka.
So obviously, this is not going to be the finished looking product, right? This is a sample. So if you guys have seen these samples, or if you have them there locally, if not, you're going to get some. This is just a sample. So obviously, it's going to be rainified, and it will be rainified is what we talked about. But you're going to see that it might taste like it has 8 to 10 grams of sugar in it, right? It doesn't. It doesn't. This is a product, though, that we know is going to boost the immune system. That's why we call it immune. Okay? As we go out there and put a lot of stress on our bodies, not only do we need to, as we're focusing on this weekend, what we've launched with Pure and helping with prebiotics and probiotics, but that's helped certain aspects of the body, but this is another thing that we need to do. Do you think it's going to be hard to get kids to take this? Hey, but you know what? It does have a lot of vitamin C and zinc, so if you eat it like candy, if you eat like 8 or 10, your stomach hurts. I know. I just kept eating them one day and I was like, oh. So it does have zinc and it does have all that type of stuff in there. But I'm excited about this. Thank you so much, Dr. Cook. And then as we get ready to really focus, as you see this, which is not RAIN, right? You got to understand the society is not RAIN. And that's why it's important to have the society, because we don't diagnose, prescribe, treat, or cure anything. We don't do any of those things. But there is a lot of research on seeds. And there are going to be studies on things that are in our products, and there are going to be studies on our products by third parties. And it's going to be great as we really roll this out and we can be a part of it. But it's a gorgeous looking site. When you get on there, you're going to see it. You're going to see that it's a community. And guess what? The community isn't just going to be RAIN. There isn't going to be, there's other groups and companies outside of RAIN that are all going to be part of this, that are coming on board, because it's about seeds. It's about nutrition, which is what we're about, and that's why, once again, we want to lead that way. So thanks so much, Christina, and hopefully you're going to see, we haven't said it, but it's going to come out pretty soon, okay? I'm not going to tell you when, but I'll show you when. Okay, we'll show you when, but it's going to happen. So as you see, we've talked a lot about some of our charity work and what we're doing there. We've talked a lot about science and new products and what we're really doing. Once again, we're acting. We're not just doing, and hopefully you guys always give us the benefit of the doubt that if you don't hear about things, it does not mean that we're not working like crazy behind the scenes. When we come to events like this and you see some of the things that have happened, I mean, there's been a ton of work behind the scenes to get all this stuff ready, to put these things in place. Just relationship-wise, setting up relationships, finding and doing research on formulas. It's not like this is the first formula that got put together, you know? There's a lot of things, especially when it comes to the product development, that behind the scenes you don't see what's happening. But we have all this stuff, and now what we need to do is we talked about the simplicity of our duplication. We need to focus on doing the same thing with our tools, doing the same thing with the ability to get this information to as many people as fast as possible. So I'm excited because the next person that you're going to hear from is somebody who's helping us do that as we put our app together. And he actually flew in from Florida to be able to share some of the new things that we have in the app, how to utilize it, and how to get things going. So if you want me to intro, or you want to do it, bud? I'll do it. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome, actually we have a video first. And then we'll bring him to the stage. So let's roll that video, but I just wanted to say this real quick. Thank you guys.
Нет ничего лучше, чем группа единомышленников. Люди, которые хотят веселиться, изменять мир, быть частью чего-то. В этом и есть суть, шанс что-то изменить. Веселиться, быть здоровыми, помогать людям и зарабатывать, делая это с уникальными продуктами, с компанией, которая действительно заботится, системами, которые используют последние новинки в мире технологий. В этом и есть отличие, в этом уникальность. Это RAIN. RAIN International, основанная в 2011 году, является лидером, создателем категории и самой революционной концепции в питании на основе семян, наполненными всеми питательными веществами, которые и создают саму жизнь. Все очень просто, но при этом поистине революционно, чисто, совершенно, без добавок. Абсолютно уникальные продукты, протестировано и оценено учеными. Они помогают десяткам тысяч людей по всему миру, от олимпийских спортсменов до заботливых мам. Продукты от компании, в которой вы можете быть уверены, которые заботятся не только о продукте, но думают о том, как изменить мир к лучшему. Компании, которые руководят те, кто знают, что такое тяжелый труд. Люди такие же, как и вы. Все мы согласимся, что живем в новых условиях, по новым правилам. Такие создатели категорий, как Tesla, Uber и Spotify, они стали миллиардными компаниями даже без рекламы. Люди попробовали, им понравилось, они начали рассказывать друзьям. Мы этим и занимаемся. Использование технологий делает это еще проще и быстрее. И по примеру франшизы у нас есть 8-недельная система Rainmaker, которая покажет вам все, что нужно делать, что говорить, позволяющие вам работать по своему графику, в кругу своей семьи и даже совмещать это с постоянной работой, используя свой телефон, чтобы делиться видео. Все так просто. Вы и так это уже делаете. Никакой головной боли, как от обычной работы. Не надо хранить горы продукта, ездить на почту или думать, как принимать платежи. наша философия, наша миссия. Конечно, мы хотим сделать людей более здоровыми и даже больше. Наша цель – изменить мир. Такая цель может показаться фантастикой, но именно это мы и делаем каждый день, влияя на общество. Для нас доход не самая главная цель, но изменить мир через конкретные дела, отдавая обратно то, что мы получаем. Как мы и сказали в начале, наш путь отличается. И мы приглашаем вас стать его частью. Но сначала мы приглашаем вас полюбить наши продукты, узнать, что такое питание на основе семян, увидеть результаты. Если вы заинтересовались, узнайте, что вы можете сделать. Зарабатывайте столько, сколько хотите, просто рассказывая об этих продуктах, используя наши уникальные инструменты. Возможно, это именно то, что вы искали. Готовы? Отлично! Просто перейдите по ссылке и познакомьтесь с RAIN.
And behind all that, John Presky.
All right, can you hear me okay? All right, thank you. Wasn't that a great video? Amazing. Well, we're going to have a lot of good news, and I haven't had the chance to really get to meet you guys in person, so it's a real honor to be out here with you guys today and around the world. So I'll try to keep it a little more deliberate. I talk way too fast usually. So a lot of people ask me, where did this come from? Just to try to give a little context. Where did your app come from? Where did the idea come from? And what people don't always know about me is I was where you are for 20 years, sitting there building my businesses over time. And in 2007, I was with a really good company, having a great time, making great money, had a group about the size here around the country, and I had a smartphone. I had a little Motorola Q. Most of you might not even remember that thing. And I was talking to my business partner, who was my upline, I said, you know, Mike, there's something about this. We're going to do something big with this in this industry. And he goes, like what? And I said, no, I said, we can do it. I said, we're having trouble. We always want to duplicate, right? We want to push deeper and deeper. We couldn't get past 5, 6, 7 levels. We were in a unilevel at the time. And he said, well, yeah, I'll take that. And so with my background in computer science and in sales and in this industry, over the next 4 years, we developed what we wanted to do with the smartphone. And the smartphone had to start catching up with what we wanted to do, you know, because sometimes it couldn't do it. So that's how we came about with the app and the team and what you see today. The first version, you didn't want to see that. Okay, that was back in 2012. But this is what we have today. So I want to tell you that from recruiting over close to 500 customers into my business, over 100 reps, this is where it goes to, and what I learned in business from a lot of amazing leaders. I won't take credit for what I learned. It came from people who were out there doing it, making it happen, okay? So this is where it came from. So let's go ahead and go through that. And this is going to be more of almost a training, if you will, okay? Because I want you to understand how to use the app, more so than is it a pretty tool, right? So if you have your app, you're allowed to have it open, because I'll probably direct you, because it's not a live demo, I'll direct you to it back and forth. So you can open it up. So for the people that are new, the app has 3 basic sections to it, okay? Down below are what we call our core marketing features, and you'll see why they're called that, okay? In the middle is what we call our slider. You'll see brand new banners rotating across. What you're going to see coming is all kinds of event announcements and links to sign up and all kinds of things that are going through there. Maybe even some recognition one day. Wouldn't that be cool to see your face on the app or in the new rank? That would be very cool. And then on the upper left is the menu, and that's really for administrative functions, if you will, not necessarily recruiting functions. Because if anybody asks you, what is this? This isn't a recruiting app. We're about building businesses here, okay? So that's what I wanted to give you a brief overview. So let's get into it a little bit. If you hit the share button, well, I'm sorry, in the upper left, this is your slide menu, okay? And if you don't know, whenever you have a problem, see that contact button at the very bottom? Make sure you hit it and send us a ticket, okay? And our team will try to get back to you as quick as we can and help you through anything that's app related, okay? So that's our tech support there. And everything else is just information. But what's really nice is when you want to add somebody manually, you don't want to just send a link. you want to sign somebody up right away, that's what Ad Distributor, Ad Customers for, okay? So make sure you know that that content is in the upper left menu. Last, training. There's a 5-minute training video in there. If you've not used the app or maybe you're struggling, go under there. Do watch the 5-minute training video. It's only 5 minutes. It wasn't 20. So we try to give you a brief overview on how to get started with the app, okay? So that's the menu. So this is where the app came from. Everybody goes, well, what's it supposed to do? Technology by itself is just a tool. It's not there to, just sit there and shine. You need to know its purpose, its context. And this is the context of the app. See, this is what we used to do before we had apps, right? We used to have to talk to somebody and pique their interest, right? We had to figure out who's interested and who's not. And if they were interested, back in my day, what we did all the time was 3-way calls. Connect people, show it's a team effort, talk to another team member, and get them invited to some type of an event, right? To see more material. Nowadays, the event might just be the video, okay? That's how things have changed. But it might be a private meeting, a one-on-one at Starbucks or somewhere you want to go meet with, right? And then what would you do? You'd show them the information at the event. Again, it could be a 5-minute video. And then they're going to make a decision on whether to enroll or not, right? So these are the 5 steps. And sometimes people compress these into one, okay? We're real excited. But these are the steps that you're generally trying to build your business upon. And this is something I was taught from the very beginning. I mean, since the early 90s, this is what we do. So the app, what is the app trying to do? It's trying to help you do those 5 steps easier, faster, and more fun, okay? Because we all know, picking up the phone out of the blue with no texting ability and having to make a conversation out of nothing when you haven't talked to somebody in 2.5 months, that wasn't easy back then, okay? Now you get to send a text, quick email, maybe a Facebook Messenger message, right? So that's why it's easier than the old days. So we're going to try to help you and show you how this makes sense with the app, okay? So hopefully it makes sense. Okay, this is the share button. So if everybody has their app open and you want to hit the share button, this is our interactive media grid. It was formed using Netflix-inspired logic. You can scroll up and down with your finger, left, right, and you see it, okay? Now what's nice is you have by country, by language. And what this allows you to do is select the country and language of your prospect, send content, right? If you're running your phone in English, you're going to default to English. But if you're running your phone in Spanish, this is going to default to USA and maybe Spanish, okay? So things like that. So keep in mind, that's how the grid is put out. Second is actually stacked into the sequences of recruiting. Peak interest, invite, expose. Follow-up, help sort, right? Then to get down past that, you can present, and then you can enrollment links. So that's how this whole thing is set up, so you can flow from top to bottom with your content, with your prospect, okay? So what's kind of neat, you guys love the video, right? Well, there's another one. Well, see down there in the highlight? That's where they are. They're in your app as of right now for you to share, okay? Yeah, so try not to do that right now if you help me, okay? I got a lot more to go here. But they're already in there. They're right next to the Join Us. So they'll have the peak, the little 37-second one, which is awesome. The one you just saw, and then Join Us, left to right. And you can just expose right across and introducing what RAIN has to offer, which frankly is amazing. You truly are a category leader here. So that's the media grid, and how you use it is really where everything happens, okay? Let's keep going. Now, when you go to send content from the media grid, everybody always asks, how do I put my people in? Your people are in your address book, okay? And so you add people to your contact management system through the action of sharing. You know, I remember when I got started, they said, make a list, you know? And I'd spend maybe a week trying to make a list of 10 people. You know, we procrastinate, we do whatever. Now we don't have that problem. We immediately go into sharing. So the app is designed for immediate sharing activity. New person gets into business, they can go to the App Store, download, and share their top 5 people inside, what, 3 minutes? And have their business rolling. 2, 3 people watch something, you get immediately notified, right? Then you follow up by phone, set a time, get together, and your business is moving. That's the way the app is supposed to be used, to move quickly, okay? So that's why we built it that way. But here's what's nice, is you can share worldwide in any way you want here, because not everybody has this technology. We do here at RAIN, okay? So if you have Facebook Messenger installed on your phone, or Line, or WeChat, or Kakao, those are the 4 major chat apps. WhatsApp are 5 major chat apps that encompass the entire world. If you have them installed, the option appears. If you don't have them, like you just have Facebook Messenger on your phone, well then you'll see text, emails, Facebook Messenger, and that's it, right? People ask, the emails, what's the difference? Well, we keep it in there because some people just want to use our computer to send the email. That's what default is. But what I'd recommend is if you have an iPhone or an Android, use your email with your iPhone and your Android. It's just easier, okay? And the last thing I'm going to say is as you're sharing across, okay, you hit the share button, you see the sample messages, okay, they're there for you to review. Know you can change these texts and emails yourself prior to sending. They're only written for you in case you just don't have a gift of gab or not sure what to say. They're there for you. Feel free to change them, but let's not be too long-winded in our messaging, because the idea is to let the video, the content, professional content, do the talking for you. That's duplicatable, right? You know, what you type in there might be amazing, and you may have skills, but the person you're recruiting may not. So what you're doing may not be duplicatable. So the idea is to have simple messaging that gets them to do what? Click, watch the content, and then let's go to the next step. So yes, you can change them, but I wanted you to know that. Now on your Facebook Messenger, everybody asks, how does that work? Basically, if you select Facebook Messenger, it pulls up the Messenger app, and you hold your finger down, and it pastes whatever the text was right in. And you can change it again. But be careful when you're changing, because the links down at the bottom where the video and everything is, they're coded to you. So that you get the alerts when they're watching it, you get everything, you get the credit, you get everything. So if you're gonna mess with the message, I'm all for it. Just watch out on that bottom area, okay, for everybody who's there. So this is all the options. The nice thing is, if you have prospects in Central and South America, they love using WhatsApp. I have a company that's actually based out of that in South America. 72% of all the messages are from WhatsApp. It shows you how much they use WhatsApp. So download WhatsApp if you want to recruit overseas, right, in that direction. Asia likes Line, WeChat, and Kakao. Kakao is mostly Korea. Line is pretty much all of Asia except for China. China tends to like WeChat. So that's why they're in there, if you want to know, because you guys are a global company and your technology needs to support you to recruit globally, right? Does that make sense to everybody? Okay, so that's why they're all there, but they only show up if you have them on your phone. And if you do, you get them all. Okay, I took a lot of time because I wanted you to understand how that really works. Okay, this is what you see when you go and hit your prospect button. Okay, if you hit your prospect button, this allows you to go ahead and work with your prospects. So as you send stuff out, these people appear in your prospect list, right? This is where the contact management occurs. And what you've got there is filtering statuses. They all come in as warm with the coffee cup. Then you, as you recruit, can change them, okay? Now, there's a new status down there in purple. I just want you to know when you see it, like, what's this for? Well, down the road, we're going to talk about it, we have the ability for lead capture page capability, where if there's going to be getting a transition, right, into cold marketing possibly, and you want to do a little lead capture, when they're captured on these different things, they're going to load in as new prospect so that you can then get alerted with a message and alert, and you'll see that you have new, and you can filter by all of those what I call cold marketing. So we're a warm marketing platform where you need to work your team and your prospects properly and really do it the right way. But eventually, if you're going to, build, you're going to start seeing lukewarm. You're going to start doing things. So that's a new status that's going to come. The really thing I like, I was always part-time in this business, so I was always busy with a new software venture or whatever I was doing during my full-time job. But at night, I needed to get back busy, right? And I couldn't remember who I talked to, who I didn't send something to. That's what recent activity is. The recent activity sort over here allows it to stack everybody from top to bottom, who the most recent person was that interacted with the content or that you sent to. It ranks them both. So that way, if you really want to know where you should apply your energies, you come out of work one day, you hit the button, you sort, and it'll pretty much tell you who you should be working. And that's where you might want to change the status from warm to hot to keep you focused on your best leads. Does that make sense a little bit for everybody? Because that's kind of how it works. So you filter over there, you sort over here, and they work together. You can actually filter by hot and then go recent activity, and it'll rank them as well. So it's a very sophisticated tool. We try to make it easy to use though, okay? So there's a couple other things going on. So let's get past that. Let's talk about this real quick. A couple things that everybody likes to see is that at a glance, you can see what the last thing happened with your prospects. You don't have to open them up, blow them up. So up top, you got an example. Oh, last thing that happened with Bruce up there is we sent the video. Over here, we've got a red follow-up there. If you don't see the follow-up, you can just tap on it without going anywhere and reset a follow-up just like that. That's what that means. You can just tap them. You don't have to go inside the system, set a new follow-up. And down here, you notice you don't have to go inside to change status. You can just tap on it right there, it'll pull it up and you can change status right there. So there's a lot of functions that don't require you to go deep inside the prospect details, okay? And this is all contact management going on underneath the prospect button. Okay, this is kind of nice. So when you want to get deep into the prospect, you just hit the triple buttons there, right? You hit the triple, it blows this up. You're going to see something really new here coming that I really want you to see and I think you're going to really like, okay? We took a lot of time building it for you to launch that. So right here, as you can see with the push of a button on Tony Stark here, I happen to have his phone number, his email, and his text. I can tap one button and get to him. You don't have to go find him in your address book. Okay, the system remembers. So if you hit the text icon, it'll immediately call up a new text. Down here, the share content button, what's nice about that is you don't have to go out of the app and back in. It'll take you right to the media grid, okay? And if you are prospecting that prospect in Spanish, let's say, it'll take you to the Spanish version of the media grid. The app remembers by prospect what you're trying to do, so it can help you move quickly, okay? And then down here, prospect details, I'm going to show you that. You can delete, you can cancel. So it's a very good function, it's quick and fast. But let's go to the next one. This is what we love. This is brand new, okay? So this over on the left is your full blown up prospect detail screen, okay? And what you can do again in the upper left is you can one-touch call, text, no problem, email. You can change status in the upper right over there, tap it. You can go right to the media grid with the share. So you can do all these functions quickly. But down here is your personal information in your history. So you can see now you have a new button called Add History, because when you're part-time in the business again, you got to remember what you did last. So now you get to go ahead and annotate your own history this way. So you can add that if you followed up and left a voicemail, you tap it, hit OK, and it adds it right into your history in chronological order as you do it, okay? So, I mean, this is like a full-blown CRM right in your own hand, okay? That's what's going on. One day we'll find a way to, if you text them without remembering, we'll enter it for you anyways, but we're not quite there yet, okay? I don't want to really dive into your personal stuff. So right here, though, you can use all these. Down here, deliver or send a sample. We know we love doing sampling. It works, okay? Up here, you met with the prospect. So all these, we took, unfortunately, 2 days trying to make sure we had every possible condition in the recruiting process, and I'm sure we missed some. So feel free to tell us what we missed, okay? But that is a cool feature that we're really proud of, and it's live in your app right now, okay? Let's keep going, yeah. I like it. Okay, this is the last thing. Part of managing your prospects is you share your contact managing, but see, you always want to know, sometimes you can sort with the most recent activity, but sometimes there's messages from corporate you might have missed, right? You have your phone off at work or something. So this is the alerts button. In the lower right on the front, you tap it. But this is how you can manage your alerts. The blue alerts are ones you have not read. Ones without blue means you've already read them. It's a real simple process. But if you hit the edit button in the upper right, okay, you get all these right here. Select all, mark as read. So it's just some more tools for for you to get rid of alerts that might be annoying, you don't need them anymore, you can trash them. At the top, the filter by is unread, read, it's all read and unread. So you can quickly do that. I don't have it open. But that's where the filter is. So basically, your tools for managing is a flow through sharing under the share button, managing under the prospect button, and using alerts to make sure you don't miss stuff. So that's your flow as you go through the app and try to move through your 5 steps of recruiting people, okay? So I want to make sure everybody really understood that's how it's designed, and that's why we designed it that way. Okay. We're getting to the end here. Future tech. We tried to do something cool here. You guys have the best branding in the business. I really love it. So it's cool. So coming soon, let's talk about a couple things. Personalization, gamification, and group text. They're all going, what does that mean? Okay. App personalization. Very soon, you're going to be able to go through as you load your app. And if you haven't, if you're already on the app, don't worry, you're going to get the opportunity. But as someone comes into the app for the first time, there's going to be like a personalization or onboarding where you're going to be able to do things and select things about what's important to you so that you can make the app a little more of your own. So I think you're really going to love that. You're going to see some beautiful slides come across. You're going to be able to click on different things and really set the app up so the corporate can even communicate to you based on what you're interested in and what you're trying to build in your business. And that's a huge deal to have corporate know what you are specifically being interested in doing, and then they can communicate with you based on the settings you have in your app. It's going to be very, very sophisticated, and you're going to love. And this was actually an idea by Daniel and Rain, so we're incorporating it just for you guys, and I think you're going to love what happens there, okay? Gamification. Okay, sometimes the business can be a little bit hard, right? Being honest here, we get a little struggles, okay? So we're always trying to make it fun and easy to do this. Nothing's easy. Nobody knows. Anybody who's built a solid income in this business knows it was never easy, okay? That's not why we're here for easy. We're here to improve lives. And by that, we go ahead and have satisfaction in different business building. But let's make it a little more fun. So what's coming based on a lot of things that you're seeing that are new, like those CRM settings where you can record that you followed up. Well, that's going to go into the gamification to help you understand so you can track your own progress as you go through your recruiting and maybe even see generically how you're comparing to other people in the follow-up process so you can start to go ahead and improve and seek help and training, talk with your leaders and go, wow, I seem to be a little low here. How can I be better at this? And so gamification isn't just about fun. It's about helping you build your business. So we're going to make it a little more fun. So you're going to see things coming in the app over time with all these new tools that as you're using it properly and you're seeing your success, we're going to show you visually how well your recruiting process is going. Does that make sense for everybody? It's going to be a lot of fun. So I hope you love that, okay? And the last thing I want to talk about with future tech is group text communication. Over the years, and we have tens of thousands of users, over the years, we've been asked, wow, I wish I could just communicate directly to just my customers in a group. Or I wish I had a new announcement maybe. Or I wish I could communicate to my immediate people that I've signed up in the business about something, right? And so there's that need, but it's not easy. And if you use your cell phone with an MMS text, everybody sees it, and all of a sudden we got a discussion that, frankly, you're wondering whether you should send it in the first place, right? We all get it, okay. So what we wanted to do is design something that you could do this, but people could only reply individually to you and not see anybody else in the group, okay? Right. So it's in beta testing right now. We built it. We're playing with it. We're trying to break it. That's what we do for a living, break, fix. That's how we work, right? So we're going to have that. So as we do it, we'll be integrating with corporate and what they want to do with it. You'll see it in your app here pretty soon. We added every country in the entire world is in there now, okay? Yeah, I got you there. Got that? And so that's there too. So these are all the different things that I wanted you to see that we're doing and really understand why the app was designed the way it was from somebody who's actually been there, had to go through the difficulty of sometimes of recruiting, right? And sharing. So let's go ahead and recap here. So basically, this is your tool. You know how to use it. You got the 5 steps. I'm going to go through it a little bit here and make sure you got the 5 steps that you want to work through. The core recruiting there, you share, that's piquing interest. what you receive back. Did they watch the video? Did they not? Defines your follow-up, right? If they don't watch anything, just put them on a 2-week callback and start over, right? But if they watch something, I don't care if it's 20% or 80%. Yeah, we like to get the 80%ers, don't we? But it doesn't always happen that way. You get interrupted. It's not you, it's their life. It's busy, it's timing, right? So what you want to do is go ahead and follow up with them anyways. Use your new tool that you followed up and feel good about it. Make sure you keep your reminders set. You got another tool coming about helping you keep your reminders, but get in the habit of that when you get a reminder in, you either follow up immediately with the push button, because it has a cell phone, or you always set a new reminder. Don't ever just let it go. Always do one or the other, and that way your CRM and your gamification tracking will all make sense and show that you're doing the business the right way, okay? So make sure you do that. But that's your sorting. That's how you sort, through interaction and timing. And then, of course, if you go ahead and get interested in the business opportunity, you want a 3-way call, get them to an event of some sort, and go ahead and sign them up, okay? And that's really how the flow of the app works. And anything you guys ever want in it, the contact button in the admin, we're here for you, okay? We want to make sure we're helping you, but we love new ideas all the time. So with that, I want to say thank you, and I hope it was great for you, and I look forward to working with you. Take care.
Зарабатывать. Социальная коммерция, так она и называется. Получать доход за счет общества. Общение. Мы взяли то, что вы делаете каждый день. Сообщение, общение, e-mail. И построили на основе этого бизнес-модель. Мы даем вам отличные продукты, которые меняют мир вокруг вас. Вы можете зарабатывать везде, в любое время, в любом месте. Когда вы общаетесь, даете ссылки, подписываетесь, просто живите обычную жизнь и зарабатывайте на этом. Улучшите свою жизнь, как вы всегда этого хотели. Мы поможем построить вашу команду, потенциал дохода и будущее. Станьте боссом, сами себе.
Please welcome to the stage, Paul Hickey.
Holy smokes, so much love. Nice to be back, thank you. Wow. Jeez. Well, thank you. That was a nice, surprising welcome. I really appreciate it, and I'm so happy to be here. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to everybody all over the world watching. How exciting is this? It's raining all over the world right now, right? Do I have a clicker? Any chance? I just pointed that and it goes to my next slide or what's happening. Sorry, you guys. I walked out without the clicker. My bad. So, you know, I like to talk about some different things when I'm up and give you guys a little different perspective. And we're going to talk about investing again. We're going to talk about, thank you, we're going to talk about really what I think the best investment in the world is. We're going to talk about startups, investing in startups, because I do a lot of that and I work with a lot of people, and I've just been involved with this brilliant blockchain startup that's raising $5 million. I'll tell you a little more about it in a minute. But you are a startup. You are a startup entrepreneur. Every single one of you, until you get to the point where you're making a couple $100,000 a month and everything is on cruise control, you're a startup entrepreneur and you're building a business. And I need you to think like that. And I need you to think that you're not only building your own business as a startup entrepreneur, you're investing time and money and resources. You're investing in yourself and in this startup. So in my mind, let's talk a little about what makes a good startup. There's 5 factors. And let's talk about what I think the best investment is, by the way. The best investment is what I call a regenerative business. Now I'm taking this from new kind of real estate development. That's me hanging out on my little beach there. I went over there in January. We're getting things finally going on that island. And I don't know if there's a way to play. I've got a little video there. I don't know if I can get it here or not. It's on the right side. If not, it's no big deal. Oh, there we go. Wow. What happened? Okay, all right. So that's okay. I'm just helicoptering in sideways onto the island. I even got dizzy from that. It's just a fun little clip of landing on the island and hanging out, and I've got a couple brilliant partners. And we are doing not just sustainable development. There's a new level of development, and it should apply to everything you do in your startup. It's called regenerative. So sustainable means you've built something that can sustain you in a community. Regenerative means you build something that produces everything you need and then some. So you actually produce more electricity than you use, produce more water than you use, produce more food than you use. That's the new regenerative villages and towns that are starting to emerge in developments. Super cool. Same thing should apply in your thought process to your business. You want to be able to produce more than you consume, more income than you need. That's a regenerative business, and that to me is the best kind of startup to invest in, right? So I'm actually doing a little work right there, and that's the way we should all be working most of the time, I hope, eventually. Let's talk about the 5 success factors that make a difference in a successful startup. There's 5 major factors. And we're going to talk about each one of them, and we're going to apply it to your RAIN startup. The first factor is the idea. What's the service? What's the product? Now, there's a brilliant guy by the name of Bill Gross who started Idea Labs, a famous venture capital firm in Silicon Valley. They've been wildly successful, and he did this study. He said, I made 100 investments, and I want to study which ones worked, which ones didn't, and why. And then he studied 100 other investments he didn't make that were successful and failed, and he put those 200 startups together and said, here are the 5 things I've been able to identify as the key factors in the success of a startup. And one is the service, product, and idea. The second one is the team. Can the team execute? And can they pivot? And that is super important today, more than ever before, because we are in such a dynamic economic and business environment with technology. Technology is changing everything so fast, and you have to keep up with it. And if you don't pivot when new technology hits, you're going to lose out. And that Connect app that you just watched, I'll come back and talk about that in just a minute. That's a pivot you all need to make. I promise you, if you ignore that, it's going to cost you. That app is super important to plug in, and it's going to become more and more important in this business as every day goes by. So, third thing, your business model. That's also a key factor in your success in any startup. Now, what does a business model mean? That's how do you generate revenue? That's your business model. How do I generate revenue? The fourth thing that's important is funding. You got to have the funding to launch your startup. You got to have the funding to grow it when you start growing. And the fifth thing is timing. Is the market ready for your product or service? Well, yes, it is. I'll come back to that. Thank you. And that is a key with any kind of startup. Is the market ready? Is the market growing? Is the timing good? Now, one of the interesting things that Bill Gross did is he did a calculation. He wanted to know which was the most important thing out of those 5 factors. You need all of them, but what one was the most important to the success of the startups that he invested in? Let's take a little quick show of hands. How many of you think it's the idea product, the most important thing? Nobody raised their hand. How many of you think it's the team and the actual team that can execute? 2 people, 2, 3 people. How many think it's the business model, how you make the money, how you make the revenue? 2, 3 people. How many of you think it's the funding? That's the most important thing. Nobody. How many of you think it's the timing? Raise your hands. Wow! Wow! This is a little more sophisticated group than I thought. Because guess what the answer was? Timing, number 1 factor. 42% is how he rated it. The second most, so the timing, we're coming back to timing in a minute, but the second most important thing was the team. So if you take timing and the team, that's 74% of how successful your startup's going to be relies on those 2 things. Basically, 25% is all the other stuff, the business model, funding, and the ideal product. It's the timing and the team that make the difference, the biggest difference by far. Well, how does RAIN stack up? When you look at this, I want to just do a little comparison and talk about how this RAIN startup business that you're all involved in compares to typical businesses. And so let's talk about the idea, service, and product to begin with, and go down the list. I want to make a point out of something about this, right? You have amazing products, brilliant products, and there's more brilliant products coming. But there's a point that I want to make here in terms of RAIN with your product you have. And I put Dallas up there as an example. Thanks, I'm thinking about you, Mike Hammerman and Lindsay, the brilliant partners in Texas. If you never, everybody in the field is new products, where's the new product? You got a new product? Where's the new product? Product. And I just want to make a point. I did a little math. If you just take this one product, sold, and 10% of the people, just 10% of the people in the metropolitan area of Dallas, if we only had 10% of the people just in Dallas taking this one product, that's $531 million a year in sales. I love the new products they just launched. I love the new products they're going to be launching in the future. This is all you need to be successful in this business. This company I'm working with, this blockchain technology, I can't mention the name because they haven't closed their funding, so I can't be public about it. But this blockchain technology company, they're raising $5 million just to make the product and then to get it into the market, right? So let's go to the executive team for a second. So anyway, the point I want to make, you've got brilliant products, and you know how much it costs you to get your hands on those products? $0. That is extremely unusual for a startup, but you don't have to spend a lot of time and a lot of money on the products. All right, the team, executive team, super important. It's really you. Of course, you have support from your upline. You have some support from downline people, smart people that you bring into the business. But this is really you. It's about you and your ability to execute and your ability to pivot. Super important. And pivoting is technology today. And the brilliant thing about being in a startup in network marketing is that technology always helps you. From the beginning when we had email to communicate more, and then 10 years ago we got WhatsApp, where you could do really cheap calls all over the world. And now we've got social media. And let me just talk about social media for a second, because I'm a little inspired by that presentation on the Connect app we just had. A lot of people are confused about social media. Social media is not about mass marketing. That is not what social media is all about. Social media is taking everything you learn on how to do one-on-one marketing and just applying it on social media platforms. You can be super sophisticated with social media if you want, like Dino. He's amazing. Or you can do it really in a very straightforward, simple, effective way, like Natasha Palgrim. She's this brilliant, beautiful RAIN partner in Amsterdam. And here's what she does. She's in the business of raising consciousness and helping people to be happier. And she's got this beautiful website and Facebook page where you get information about that. And what she does in social media with RAIN is she connects with other people around the world who are interested in raising their vibration, raising their consciousness, and she becomes friends with them. And then they ask about what she does, and she tells them about RAIN. It's really simple. And then she taught her mother, who's in the travel industry, how to use Facebook to make friends with people in the travel industry around the world. And she does. And then she tells them about RAIN, and she signs up people in RAIN. So that is the simple way that everybody can be efficient in social media, is just to make friends who have common interests that then naturally you can tell them about RAIN with this beautiful Connect app and all the resources you have. That's it. It's super simple. You don't have to make it any more complicated than that. So that's pivoting, right? let's go to business model for a moment. The business model here as a startup in RAIN is pretty straightforward. It's one-to-one marketing, whether you're doing it on social media, face-to-face, referrals, however you're doing it. And it's this comp plan that's already built in that pays you out. And it's somebody else that does all the manufacturing and all the shipment and all the fulfillment. That is a beautiful business model. I don't know very many business models where you can actually plug into something, start a business, not have to pay for the product, not have to pay for the fulfillment. And if your business starts to grow, like a lot of startup companies, they start to grow, and guess what? First thing you need is extra capital. This company that's raising $5 million just to build a product, as soon as they launch it, they're raising another $50 million to be able to grow. Okay? This is just brilliant. This business model is brilliant in terms of how fast you can grow on a worldwide basis. I don't know startups that can do that. I mean, it's just really super unique. And then funding, simple. We've already talked about that a little. As a startup entrepreneur, RAIN, you know, if you spend a lot of money, it would still probably be less than a cheap vacation. Okay? You don't need $5 million. You don't need $100,000. You don't need $50,000 to start this business and to really grow it and be successful. So it's a brilliant, brilliant funding technique for startups and part of the business model. And the last thing is timing, right? So everybody got it right. I was actually really impressed because I talked to a lot of sophisticated investors and entrepreneurs, and I run them through this. I say, which one do you think is the most important? Some of them get timing. A lot of them say it's team. Some of them say it's the product. But virtually almost everybody here said timing. So what about the timing? As a startup entrepreneur in RAIN, how's your timing right now? What do you think? Good or bad? Okay, you know, let's talk about why, specifically, for just a moment, okay? Health industry, health and wellness, people caring about their health, people caring about what they're eating. Is that growing or declining? It's growing worldwide. Is it going to continue to grow for the next 20 years? Of course. No matter what technology comes out, no matter what is happening out there in the world, that industry will grow forever until we get it perfect, which is not in our lifetime for sure. Okay? So we're in a great long-term growth industry that's not going to stop growing, ever. Second thing, entrepreneurship. Is entrepreneurship on the rise? It is on the rise, globally. More and more people are becoming at-home workers, remote workers. They're moving to little islands. Bali is exploding right now with remote workers and entrepreneurs who can do their work from anywhere in the world. It's amazing the community that's building there right now. I've got some friends who moved there and they love it. And Puerto Rico too. It's another great place, especially for Americans. So you've got this entrepreneurship that's growing, and one of the reasons it's growing is technology is allowing this to happen. And the second reason is AI, artificial intelligence. And what do I mean by that? I mean that artificial intelligence, and you heard me talk about this a year or so ago, artificial intelligence is going to eliminate a lot of jobs and not replace them with new technology jobs because it's so efficient. It'll replace some new technology jobs, but you'll get rid of 100,000 jobs in accounting and maybe replace it with 1,000 jobs. And so what's going to happen over the next 5 to 10 years, it's been in the news everywhere, is unemployment rates are going to start going up, and they're not going to come down again. Because technology is just wiping out the entire industry. You take blockchain technology that I'm involved in, artificial intelligence, smart machines and robots, and those four things could potentially create 40% unemployment on the entire planet in the next 10 years. And everybody's talking about it. This is not sci-fi stuff. And it's going to do what? What will people have to do when their entire industries are literally wiped out? They're going to have to be entrepreneurs. They're not going to have a choice. They're either going to have to live on a super small income, or they're going to have to be entrepreneurs. So entrepreneurship is going to skyrocket literally like never before in the history of capitalism. Like never before over the next 10 years. Getting yourself in this type of business where you can take advantage of the growth in entrepreneurship is like dreaming. I mean, it's almost like fantasy land. It couldn't get better from a timing perspective. And then the last thing I'll talk about is RAIN. The industry is perfect. Health and entrepreneurship and AI getting rid of jobs. And now what about RAIN as a company? It's a good time to get involved? It's perfect. It's great. We've worked out a lot of bugs. We grow a lot. We still have not hit that. We're just starting to get into that momentum. Everybody knows what that means. So your timing getting in here is really ideal. Timing, timing, timing. It's brilliant timing. So if you can get your timing right, which you have, congratulations, because that's the most important factor in your success as a startup. And what's the second most important thing? It's you, okay? It's your team. It's the team you surround yourself, it's you. And guess what? You're here. Everybody here and listening to this conference, they're investing in themselves, they're doing the right things. You're on the path to being super successful in this business. You've got a great product, you've got an amazing business model, the funding is nothing for this business, the timing is perfect. The only way you're not going to make a lot of money is just to not do anything. It's that simple. You just have to keep going, keep going, keep going. And I'm just going to finish with one last picture here, just as a reminder. Look, we want to all have a beautiful, happy life. And I've literally read thousands of business plans and helped hundreds of entrepreneurs and continue to do that. And I still have never found a business model, a startup, that can match what you can do here with RAIN network marketing. I congratulate you for being here. Thank you. I congratulate you for recognizing that yourself. And I'm super excited about the future and where RAIN's going and where everybody else is going in here. Thank you very much for your time today.
Хто хоче спати, зробіть масаж сусіду. Дуже допомагає енергетично наповнення.
Please welcome, all the way from Berlin, your Vice President.
All right. Here's where I want to start today. Not so much just on this, but give me 5 minutes. Because everybody around the globe right now, other than the U.S. there, we're wrapping up our day. This has been our World Seed Summit for everybody. You had a good time? To all of the markets in Russia and Kiev and the 3 locations in Nigeria, here in Berlin, of course the U.S., and then throughout Asia, Malaysia, Singapore, Philippines, Taiwan, Hong Kong, Vietnam. We are very excited about everything that we have upcoming, that we've talked about, but there's one thing that needs to be said globally to every single RAIN partner out there, is that as we have all talked about how we are coming together to be able to give back and give more, this will change the culture and who we are as RAIN. But I want each one of you to know this, that it's because of our CEO, Byron Belka. Give him, please, applause. He has indeed been the stellar example. He has changed so many people's lives. With your help, with all of our partnerships together, we can do so much more, and we will. But we're going to do this together, unified. Leadership to corporate, corporate to corporate, field to field. All of us together. And I believe that you can already sense the consistency in the messages that we've shared around the globe today, outside of this general session or these broadcasts, I've sat back and I've been able to really be proud to be part of RAIN, to hear what we have talked about outside, that we are all echoing and talking about the same vision that we have together here at RAIN. Now, let me segue a little bit. RAIN would not be RAIN today if it wasn't for a couple of partnerships. I'm not going to get the history of RAIN, but I will just say this. It would not be here if we did not have some relationships with the technology way back in 2011. It was because of the relationship that we had with the back office that was able to give us the launch pad that we have here now, that everybody has. The back office that we all operate on today is a back office that takes tens of thousands of orders a month. It's a back office that has created a bunch of millionaires. It is a back office that really is ahead of its time. When you talk about data protection, which is a very big thing here in Europe that you all are aware of, and around the globe, we want to keep your privacy private. We want to make sure that's protected. You know, and as we kind of talked about, it's a real big thing right now. And so they, with all of their PCI compliance, they have been able to protect all of the data. And some of the things that you don't know about the existing back office is that they have a lot of attacks, but yet they are always able to protect you. And they deserve a big round of applause as well. Please, Form 6. Everything that they have, that we have now, and all that it's done, guess what? Tomorrow, it can go do more. We can do more together. But they do deserve appreciation. Now, with how time and data and technology advances, we most certainly want to be able to take advantage of all the things that today's technology offers. And so we've been able to create some back office that you've got a little preview here just now with the video, and how that back office is going to again help us as a company move again in the right direction. And so today, all we're going to do is I'm going to show you a little bit more of what is to come with our back office. But I never want you to forget that what we have now has been incredible. And these tools, as they come out, you'll be very, very pleased to be able to take advantage of these as well. So, first of all, you can see here on the screen, now today, you can see this. My name's Veronica. But you will not see the password. Veronica with a beard, yes. I got her for the password. I got it. Okay, let's see if this will load up here. So what I want to show you though is basically some features. You've heard a little bit about John Presky and how he talked about some of the personal customization of what the back office or what the mobile application can do. There's going to be some features with this back office now that you can do those same sort of things. There we go. Okay, so first of all, one of the great things that this back office is going to offer, when we talk not only about unity between all of us, but there's going to be consistency with all of us in our messaging, and now consistency in the look and appearance of, again, the front view of RAIN, which is the websites and the mobile application, but now also in the back office. So everybody becomes seamless in our branding, which again, it's not a surprise to me that, John, that you like our branding so much. Massive kudos goes to Daniel Scarpino, our marketing officer, for all of the thoughts and designs and what goes through to bring us this very unique approach of branding, but all that will now be consistent as well within the back office. When you go up to the top right here, you're going to be able to select on the dashboard, and this again is where you live and breathe. I would go so far to say that many of you sometimes look at the back office as kind of a drug. Okay? Or maybe something where you just need, like, I gotta look at that back office. I gotta look. How much enrollments did I get? What's my volume today?
right? You look at it often, and we don't blame you, because we want to be able to make sure that you see what's happening, again, as it's said, in real time. And from here, you're going to be able to see a lot of tiles that will move around. For example, perhaps again, those sales, you want to bring it up and make it one of the first things that pops up that you see, you'll be able to do that. You're going to be able to have all of the other benefits that you're accustomed to. Of course, a little different look and feel, which is what we want, one of the main key goals. But we also are going to make sure that there's other pieces in here. Everything from promotions, for example. When you click on the promotions, you know what's going on all the time. And it's going to be right there. If you're ever wondering, you don't have to go find an email, you don't have to go find a message. It's going to be right there in your back office. You're going to see other aspects within the calendar and events of what's going on. Again, simple to find, simple to see, all right? And be able to make sure that you know what's going on with your business and with the company, right? And part of, again, the great things that we all get to do together is come together at these events, but then you too will have your events. And we, as well, know that all the diamonds, all the leadership can work together, create these events, and hold their own, and be able to broadcast and show that to the world, so that if you know someone in another market, you can go right here and make sure you're up to speed on what's happening. Of course, all the other details, my account information, very simple and straightforward, but you'll notice how straightforward. So for a new partner that comes on, they're not going to have to really have too much tutelage. They're going to be able to, again, be very intuitive on what we have, what they can see, and how they go about creating their business. Obviously, shopping, there's a little shopping cart that will be set up through this as well. Again, a very easy view, tile view that you'll, again, come to appreciate and to learn. Now, we say all of that because our goal, our focus here with RAIN is being able to, again, move forward. For all of you that know or are familiar where you're at in your business right now, consider, again, what you need to do, what needs to happen. We've given every single person, every partner now out there a clear call to action, clear objectives and clear purposes to be able to go and help other people come into our family. It's now in a very simple way. And you can see how all of this is coming together much more streamlined. Everything from our messaging, our comp, our back office, our mobile app. Do you see how significant that this information that we're giving to you today is? We didn't want to wait. We're holding this event this weekend, this soon after our last event, because we've got some very important objectives and goals that we want to accomplish together. And so wherever you're at the globe right now, especially those that are in Asia, it's probably about 2 a.m. Imagine that. Give Asia a big round of applause. Amen. Incredible. Their dedication to RAIN is amazing. And I know that each one of you made that same dedication. So just know this, that when it comes to our technology and it comes to where we are moving forward to, this is proof in the proverbial pudding. Hope that translates well. But that you can see that we are serious about what we've got going on here at RAIN International. Here in Berlin, we took a moment and we shared the commitments of every single one of our staff and our employees. They all stood up here on stage. It was a beautiful time to express to every one of our RAIN partners here in Europe the commitment all the way down to our amazing and important customer service managers. From those folks that we have demonstrated commitment, this now is additional, further commitment of the time, the energy that we're putting forth to make sure that you have a very strong opportunity. Now, for those of you that are paying attention, and for those of you that are really attentive and smart about how business works, what you witness now, just between what John Kresge said and Paul Hickey said, and how we have this new technology, if I were you, I'm not you, right? I say it a lot, but if I were you, I would run. I would make as many RAIN partner teams as I can. Because when these sort of things really hit, you consider how easy the masses can now do this. I don't want it to be too late for you. Because each and every one of you, I hope to be as pioneers as people that we can lock arms with. And so I'm very grateful to be able to show this technology to you, to partner with every single one of you, regardless of rank, position, title, doesn't matter. Where you're at the globe, we again at RAIN commit to you to making sure that we do our parts and continue to show you why RAIN will become that next billion-dollar company where each and every one of you can participate and join in. So with that, to the globe, to the world, we say farewell from Berlin. Have a great time. Goodbye.
Let's give it up for Russ Kelly. And welcome back to the stage, Byron Parker.
Don't we have a dream team? We have a dream team, right? Like, once again, and I can't take credit. I always tell people that I think that if I had 15 to 20 years experience on the corporate side, because I've been a distributor most of my life, but if I was on the corporate side for 15 years, 20 years, I don't think I could find a team that's good. But we have them, and they're here. And it's because, once again, I obviously believe this is not about Byron. It's a lot bigger than Byron. It's a lot bigger than any one of us. And so one of the reasons that we're going to win, one of the big reasons that we're going to win is because people need what we have. Because, you know, we're supposed to. So we're going to go out there and continue to grow. But I appreciate Russ. I appreciate everybody else that has been with the team through a lot of crazy times. And I've stayed loyal to me. I've stayed loyal to our mission and our cause. And I've stayed loyal to you. Because I know that just like Russ or anybody else on the team and the staff, we got a lot of people that work behind the scenes. I mean, even putting this event together, there's a lot of work that had to be done for things to happen here. And I know that every other place around the world, the same thing happens. So how about we give a round of applause to all the RAIN partner staff, RAIN staff that did it. And you know, the customer service is not even here. They take a lot of goals, right? And something just get in there on the car. You know, sometimes when a product gets damaged or something, it's not really the customer service person's fault, right? They kind of take the heat for a lot of things. And they're on that front line, and it's amazing that we have the support that we do and continue to grow. So I just want to I appreciate all of them. There's a lot on the corporate side, but I know that their passion is bigger than just their job, which is the type of people that we have. Because the people that are just looking on the corporate side, that just have a job, it doesn't kind of work with what we do. It doesn't really fit. If someone's looking just to make some money and that's it, it doesn't really fit. And that's why we have the people willing to dig in and do what's necessary to get things done, just like we have here and all across the globe. So I'm thankful for them because they make my job easy. A lot of times, you talk about flying 20 hours. You know what groundwork is going on behind the scenes, and here's what I do. Somebody had to put everything else on. I just show up. I do the, they had to get the people there, they had to set up the event, they had to do all those stuff. Everyone does their role. Everyone does their job, right? So I appreciate them because they make me look better than I really am. You know what I mean? So, and I know that people say I'm kind of the face of RAIN, but RAIN is us. It really is. It's all of us. And it's a privilege and an honor to be associated with so many good people. And so, you know, as people are wrapping up in other parts of the world, it's the next session that we have in the States here isn't going to be broadcast. But I just want to tell everybody else that's not here, all this information that we've received, it's important that we do something with it, right? Okay, this energy that we feel, this excitement that we have, this passion, it has to be fanned, doesn't it? And it has to be, we have to do something with it. So what we need to do is take this information and go and do. And we don't need to wait, because what happens, I was always taught by my mentors, when we got somebody in the business, or when somebody came to a presentation, how soon are we supposed to follow up with them? Right? No later than, anybody know? 48 hours. What happens after 48 hours? Okay? Yeah, so what we've got to do is why that is there, we need to do something. And like Anthony Robbins says, that when a decision is made, when you want to internalize it, the only way it can be internalized is if you act upon it. Right? When I make a decision, the decision that I make then can be part of me if I act. If I don't act, it's not. So I hope a lot of decisions have been made over this last couple of days, all around the world. Because I know that there's a large task ahead of us. And that is a majority of the people, as you heard from Paul, just even in Dallas, right? A majority of the people don't even know we exist. But they're gonna. And that's why I say, right now, if we go out and we talk to 100 people on the street and we say, what do you know about seed nutrition? You know what we're probably gonna hear? Fertilizer? Is it good for plants? I don't know, right? People don't even know what seed nutrition is. But you know what's going to happen in the future? And I'm excited because I'm going to go through this whole process and we're going to witness this together. In the future, people are going to say when we go up to them, when you hear seed nutrition, what do you think? And they're going to say RAIN. That's what they're going to say. Right? So, you know, this is a big task, but it's one that I think all of us are excited about and willing to take on. But we all need to go out there and do it. And so for all those people around the globe, once again, we want to say good night to you here from the States. And hopefully you've enjoyed your weekend. We still have some more to do here, but we want you to know that we've been thinking about you. We're excited that you're where you're at, and we're all doing our parts together, so the opportunity is bigger for every single one of us. So I want you to know that what you do in this room not only blesses you, not only blesses the future people to come into RAIN, and the people that we're doing third-party work for, but it blesses people in other markets that are trying to do the same thing. As we've all heard that saying again and again and again, that what? The rising tide raises all ships. Raises all ships. And so what we do here helps them. What they do there helps us. So we are a team. We are one big RAIN family. And together we can and will do more. So as we kind of wrap up the session today, as we talked, we got some more information on how we're going into markets. You heard from Casey, as you heard about what we're doing with our new product and additional product, as you had more information on the promotion that we have to go out there and be a part of giving back. And then you got some great information from one of our investors and one of the owners of the company, Paul, who, just like you, had to have vision and believe in something before it really existed, right? We always have to believe it where? There's two places. We have to see it here, we have to believe it here before it ever manifests itself. You got to see it here before it's here. And, you know, we've got some great words from him, and then to hear from Russ. And once again, when you heard from Russ, did it sound like what he said he meant? Okay, does Russ bleed RAIN? Yes, he does bleed RAIN. He does. So, but that's not just Russ. There's so many people. I mean, we all, in a way, kind of do. And that's what I love about this. This isn't a job for me. It's a crusade. It's more or less a crusade we go around together. So I want to thank you, everybody, for being in this session. We're going to wrap kind of this session up, and then we're going to take a little break and then come back and have some more amazing training and hear from some other things and have some additional announcements. So thank you all so much. Everywhere else, guys, thanks for attending once again, and let's make it rain. Take care, everybody. Let's send that off in style. Have a good night, everybody.
This marks the end of our morning.
однажды в нашей школе университет. И постоянно движется. Цель саммита – взять новый расширить